What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Another day in paradise. So let me share my screen and bring this up for you guys. Now, for this evening, I'm going to base this entire discussion around this particular clip right here that I saw within the algorithm over on X. A lot of good material as far as the mulatto conversation is being had over on X. And specifically, we can say within this kind of pop cultural context with Drake. Because remember, Drake is basically for all intents and purposes, a proxy to represent the successful mulatto at the forefront, dominating the music industry. And this is like across genres as well. This is not even like just hip hop. This is within pop culture, because that's what a lot of his detractors are saying. Like a lot of these like losers in the hip hop world are trying to say, well, Drake isn't hip hop. He's like McDonald's for rap or something, or saying he's a pop star. That's what they're saying. And the shout out to Light Skin History. I like how he, articulates the kind of arguments. And he basically put it where it's like, yeah, that's their kind of rhetoric for them trying to push him out of the black culture. They're trying to say, well, he's not real hip hop. He's not authentic. He's a pop star, right? That's what they're saying. So, whatever, some rando pops up. Does the word Bantu, you know what the word Bantu means? Go on Google, like the rest of us, type it in, look it up. What does the word Bantu mean? Mulatto Vanguard, can you tell me what it means? I don't know what it means. I'm an FBA from the hood. We the indigenous. Tell me, what does it mean? Go to Google, type in Bantu peoples. Figure it out. It's not my problem you want to claim mulattoes because you want proximity to whiteness. It's not my problem you want to claim all the mulattoes to try to boost up your numbers and act like you really got some sway and influence out here because you claim all of our damn wins. This is the perfect example. You claim Drake when it's convenient, but when he has too much shine, then you throw him under the bus. That's what you do. We're going to get into this. But you put right here, does the word Bantu only applies to monoracial FBAs or other monoracial blacks from the Caribbean and Africa? I mean, the word Bantu is self-explanatory. Go to Google, type it up. Bantu peoples. Type it up. Go do your research. It's not even research. It's just a fucking Google search. There's no research necessary. It's self-explanatory. It is a ethnic racial group of people that originate from West Africa. They had an expansion. They moved outward and southern within all of Africa. And of course, they were the group that was transplanted and brought to the Caribbean, to the Americas. Just do a Google search. All right. So whatever, just random kind of suspect. Um, I'll take your word for it. I'll be nice and generous. I don't know. I'm just a little kind of because there's a lot. It's crazy. There's a lot of interlopers and trolls, and actually, there's not a lot. I'll be honest. There's like one, you know, particular person who has like a zillion accounts, and all he does is like trolls mulatto people and other mixed people within like others. He has a zillion accounts to like expose people. It's crazy. He's a real creepy incel bisexual stalker deviant. He has a zillion accounts and just stalks all the mulattoes all over social media, right? So that's why it's not, I don't, there's not that many trolls, but there's one guy who has he has a fucking zillion accounts on YouTube and all over social media where he just collects data on everybody. And you put here, I just came across your channel and watched some videos, whatever. Yeah, I'll take your word for it. Let me get back into the discussion. So I'm going to base this whole conversation around this clip, like I said, that I saw within the algorithm over on X. And this guy here, let's say, what does it say right here? DJ Hed, which is this guy right here. Okay, dark skinned Bantu. He's not mulatto. Well, all FBAs, we all mix. We got admixture and we got European. I don't give a damn what the hell this guy got. I'm looking at him, his phenotype. I'm looking at Drake. Yeah, no, we're not like you. You're damn right. Kendrick was right. I mean, I've been saying it before Kendrick. You're not the same as us. So I don't want to hear it from you FBAs about how you're indigenous and you got European blood. I don't give a damn what the hell you got. Okay. If no one else is going to say it because they're too coward, because they're going to lose a couple coins, well, I'm going to say it. So this guy, DJ Hed, this is this guy right here. Okay. Some random Bantu DJ. He's a DJ guy. What is he known for? Where's his tracks at? Is he a rapper? What songs? What is he known for? Yeah, that's what I thought. Exactly. But with Drake, with Drizzy, yeah, you know his songs. I just played one. What did I miss? He has his tracks are popping. Every year he has a song you can name. I just remember, I think his best year that I can remember Drake was like 2020, 2019, 2020. That was during the kind of beer bug kind of epidemic that popped up. And Drake had that track. He had a collab with Chris Brown, No Guidance. Remember that song? It's an R&B kind of smooth track, right? For the ladies. And then he also had a track that was banging with Rick Ross, who ended up turning on him. Typical Bantu behavior. He had that song Rick Ross called Money in the Grave. And even Rick Ross's verse was popping. And Drake's verses, that song was banging. I like that track. Money in the Bank or Money in the Grave with Drizzy right here, Drake. That was like 2019, 2020. And then also he had Life is Good, right? With another collab with Future, another Bantu who turned on Drake. So I think that was his best year was 2019, 2020 with his collabs, the people he worked with Drake. Um, but every year he has a track, he has a song. You can kind of name it. You're like, oh, yeah, that song. He did that song, right? When he did, what was that song? God's Plan. I think that was like 2019 or something, 2018, whatever. Like every year he has a song that's popping. And but this guy right here, what is he known for? He reports on other men who are more successful like than him. It's kind of like Stephen A. Smith or Jason Fatlock, some kind of like fake ass black conservative grifter guy. He reports on all these ball players and basketball players and shit. He's one of these guys. Yeah, this guy's I don't know, he's a rapper or what. Just because he puts the name DJ in front of his name, what the hell does that mean? It's like the Breakfast Club. You got that light skin hoe. I'm calling him a hoe because he doesn't check the Bantu. He lets Charlemagne defraud slide. DJ Envy. He puts the letters DJ disc jockey in front of his alias, and I'm like, you're a DJ where? You're a podcaster, radio host. Right. I mean, so yeah, he puts the name DJ there to kind of like pretend like he has some status. Like even that one like Russian Jew, what do they call that cat? DJ Vlad. They put the initial DJ in front of him, but he's like he interviews these knucklehead Bantus, right? In the hip hop industry. So we're like, what is he a DJ of? Does he go to clubs and play music? 'Cause when I think of a DJ, that's what I think of. You go to a new city, you go to a club, you're traveling around, and you see a DJ there playing music. Like, is that what DJ Vlad is doing? Is that what this DJ Hed is doing, or Hed, whatever? Is that what DJ Envy is doing? Are they playing some good? Are they DJs literally in the sense? I don't know. It's just some status they have. These kind of new age, kind of podcaster type of shit. Yeah, okay, whatever. DJ Hed suggests to Elliot Wilson, who's a old, antiquated mixed race guy. We're gonna get into it. We're gonna get into it. That Drake could use therapy for self-healing, citing an identity crisis stemming from his biracial background. So people who are they never will be anywhere near successful as Drake because they can't beat this man because he gets all the pussy in the world. Any woman he wants, they're going to be drooling to get a piece of him. He has all the money in the world. He's a billionaire. He's literally a fucking billionaire. He's the most successful artist in the whole music industry, right next to Taylor Swift and some of these other Americans. He has his own private jet. I think Taylor Swift has her own private jet as well. How much more successful can he get than that? Um, and so he's that level of success. Has mansions, private properties. Like he's loaded with cash. Like he has what he wants on top of the industry. And this random podcaster with his hat flipped backwards, I guess that means he's cool, and he's got glasses too. I guess that, I wouldn't be surprised he's got a Latina or a white girlfriend hiding somewhere. This is a typical Bantu behavior. They want to critique and criticize the mixed man, while this same Bantu has a non-black partner hiding somewhere behind the scenes. Very typical with them and their pathology. So let's examine this clip. I just laugh. It's like these people have no room to talk about Drake. You're not on his level, homie. Drake ain't thinking about you. I'm just a random dude talking shit on YouTube late at night. I have everything to gain, nothing to lose. So I'm here now, homie. So let's check this clip out. I'm going to give you guys my commentary on this entire ordeal.
In competition with this product.
Yeah, I might go to Mr. Gates.
Exactly. So I've had this conversation offline with friends of mine who are biracial.
He's had conversations offline with friends of his that are biracial. Now, he calls them friends, but if the biracials actually knew what this guy really thought about them, would they consider him his friend? I mean, if they were an old timer like this one guy they just showed, this is the guy, the Elliot Wilson, this old ass kind of antiquated. He's just there. He's just happy to be amongst young folks. That's it. Elliot Wilson is the name. We're going to get into him because they're enablers. That's why I talked about DJ Envy. Is he really a DJ? They are enablers. They allow the Bantu to jump up on the internet with the microphone and talk shit about the biracial and mulatto man. You got these enablers here, these light-skinned mixed enablers. They don't get called out enough. It's on them. They're publicly out here just smiling, giggling away, acting like everything's okay while the Bantu slanders your name. Fuck all that. So for this guy, I can already tell he's older than everybody in the room. He's just happy to be there amongst old folks and act like amongst young folks and act like he's important. That's it. Shout out to you, Maximus. I see you in the chat. Shout out to you. Up here late at night talking shit. Shout out to you. And yeah, what's what I'm saying. Like this cat right here, he's older, and he's just happy to be amongst younger folks. That's why his whole frame of thinking is completely out of whack with what the younger millennial mulattoes are seeing in real time, with real consequences. We're like, holy shit, these people are trying to destroy our credibility, our sexual marketplace value. They're challenging our status right now in society. Like we have to push back. There's no if, ands, or buts. And for the coward, pussy ass mulattoes, this is not a safe space for you. You'll easily be exposed and will easily get you up out of here. And I love doing it. I love blocking you guys. There's so many of you pussies I see all over the blogosphere, social media. I love getting you up out of here, blocking you. Get up out of here. Go create another account. Go be a hoe somewhere else. But, now I don't have any time for the whole Bantu butt kisser bullshit. I'm not into it. I'm not having it. Not me. Okay. Let's continue on.
So I've had this conversation offline with friends of mine who are biracial.
And he tries to sound all nice, like conversations with friends. I'm going to repeat this. Friends, he says, that are biracial. Are they really his friends? I don't know. He has these conversations about identity with his quote unquote friends. Really? I got friends, and like I talk to them about like video games and banging chicks and like investment opportunities, business, travel. Like that's what I talk about with my friends. Fun shit. Playing video games, nostalgia from old TV shows or movies that we both like, traveling, banging chicks, making money. That's what I talk about with my friends. This clown sitting here talking about identity with his quote unquote biracial friends, I doubt it. This is that whole, gimmicky type of, trickery that a lot of these Bantus try to deploy. Oh, my friends. I talked to him about identity. He's trying to act all nice, and that's what they do to smooth talk somebody's naive, 3-0 foes, right? And then they become baby mamas, and then all the other men are laughing at their dumbass. Like, you got tricked by a Bantu, fucking idiot. Let me play this.
And they have an identity crisis most of the time because you're not white.
He's saying identity crisis most of the time. His own fucking friends. He's throwing his own friends under the bus. You see that? He's saying he talks to his friend. He's saying they have an identity crisis most of the time. Most of the time, he's saying. But how can you speak on Drake with the whole identity crisis? This guy has more respect than you, more recognition. People know him. People will walk up to him and want to shake his hand. They want to walk up to him and take a picture with him. They don't know this Bantu. They don't give a shit about you. You're nobody. But they try to flex that blackness shit. Well, I know who I am. See, because I got 2 monoracial black parents. But this same Bantu, the trickery, he'll turn around and be like, well, we all mix. Nobody's pure. Isn't that what they tell you? You mix people to try to invalidate you. We're all mixed. Nobody's pure. We're all mixed. And black comes in all shades and all colors. Isn't that what they tell you people? But see, this is the type of gatekeeping and trickery that they deploy. See, he's like, well, I know who I am because both of my parents are dark-skinned black and I'm black. And I got biracial friends, and then they got identity issues. They don't know. They don't fit in with the whites or fit in with the blacks. They're mad. They're trying to cope with the reality that Drake fits in everywhere. He just did some shows over there in England and did perfectly well. Several months ago, he did shows in Australia, majority white nation, very well. He can go around the planet and do very well. People love his music. So this Bantu is coping, trying to be like, well, the whites don't accept you. But remember, they were crying when they saw Drake with Morgan Wallen. They were all like, oh, well, Drake is going to turn into a country music star now, just like Post Malone. They saw Drake out there in Houston with Morgan Wallen, and they were talking about, oh, Drake's audience is all MAGA. They're all Republican MAGA and shit. You guys remember that dumb shit they were trying to say? I'm trying to pull up a picture if I can get a good image, right size and shit. Because this happened recently, guys. There's like a couple. This image is small as hell. I was gonna pull up something in the quick status. I think this one's kind of like a little blurry, but let me see what I can do here. Let me pull this up. And see, they're coping with this shit. He don't fit in with the whites, but when they see him breaking bread with the whites, then they say, oh, he's a racist. He's MAGA. He got a Republican audience. He's not. See, he ain't. They were talking about these people, these Bantus are talking about, oh, well, see, Kendrick was right. He not like us. He gonna turn and be a country star. Remember that? That was a couple weeks ago. Remember that shit? They were literally saying that on this same platform, Twitter. Oh man, he's drinking and hanging out with Morgan Wallen and Houston. But the same Bantu will turn around and say, well, you're not white enough for the whites. But then they see the mulatto man clicked up with the whites. They're all smiling, hugging, breaking bread. And then they fucking cry and complain. Like, so they're attacking your identity. This is what I'm getting into with the Bantu projection, the Bantu pathology. is they want what you have. They want the mutability. They want to have access, adjacency to their white massa, and they attack you for it, the mulatto man. They want the mulatto woman so they can bastardize her so they can have lighter skinned kids, right? That's what they want. Live vicariously through their child. And this is the issue they have with Drake. They hate him because they can't compete with him because he's just better than all of them. There's no one better than him. Little Kenny is nowhere near Drake's level. I'm sorry. I mean, they used him as a proxy to be the representative for dark-skinned Bantus, but he's just not good enough. Little Kenny's not good enough. I'm sorry. Who else you got? DMX was a loudmouth hater, but where the hell is he at? Yeah, he ain't here. Who else they got? Who else they got? They're gonna put up against this dude, Drizzy. They don't have anybody else, right? So damned if you do, damned if you don't, right? He's cool with the public proof. He's cool with white people. You got Morgan Wallen, who is the biggest country star in the nation, the biggest country star on the pop charts, the country charts. Morgan Wallen, his audience is literally like mostly white, and even people who are not white, they like, even a person like me, I'm mixed, I'm half white, but I like country. I like Morgan Wallen. He's cool. I have no, but catchy tunes or whatever. But it's like he can attract audiences that aren't even white. But that's just the thing. Like Morgan Wallen, his audience, his music, his brand, and they cry and complain about this guy. So he can't win. That's the whole point with the Bantu, the way they set up the arrangement to attack your identity, to attack you, right? They'll say, if you're cool with white people, they'll say, you just want to be white, or you're anti-black, or you're MAGA. You see that? It looks like to me, Drake is mutable. Versatility, that he gets along. He has a large white audience. He's cool with white people, and he's cool with black people. That's what eats up this Bantu inside, is he'll never be able to have that same type of position. He's stuck. He's a regional act, stuck in the communita, like a Kendrick. Kendrick is a regional artist. Yeah, he'll go to Europe, and he's doing good right now because he's using Drake's name. He needed to eat the boost from the industry, right? And he's with a pop star. He's with SZA, who's a pop star, right? He has to bring a female along to boost him up, right? And Drake just goes solo and sells out an arena. Little Kenny needs a female fucking R&B singer to help his ass out over in Europe, right? But he's your FBA representative, right? For the slave culture. There you go. Doing Negro spirituals. Little Kendrick Lamar. Get the fuck out of here, man. Don't even get me started.
You're enough to hang out with the white people, and you're not black enough to hang out with the black people.
Tragic mulattoes.
And this dumbass is going to smile and act stupid. Remember, he's just happy to be amongst younger people having conversations. He like it's some relevancy. Who is this guy? They said his name is Elliot Wilson. Never heard of her. Don't care. You're an old, antiquated mixed race guy. You identify as black. We're gonna get into that. And the younger mulattoes, a millennial dude, we're just not interested. You're just sitting here smiling, skinning, and gritting. You're just as irrelevant as DJ Envy. You sit up amongst these racist Bantus, just targeting your identity, and you sit there and smile like it's no problem. Yeah, you're an enabler, part of the issue. This guy says tragic mulatto, like, and we're looking at Drake. This guy has a private jet, a billionaire. He can buy and sell these hoes. He can buy this Elliot Wilson, the other Bantu. He can give him a couple grand and be like, hey, just carry my drinks around for me, carry my water around for me for a couple hours while I'm at this event. They'll do it. They'll like, it's just the projection and the cope is insane for these people to speak on Drake, but they're nobodies. They have to speak on Drake to maintain relevancy.
Hang out with the black people.
Tragic mulattoes.
Well, they took that word away from us.
He's like, they took that word away from us. Yeah, well, a guy like me is bringing it back. And of course, they got their Caucasian massa there, of course, to be the moderator. We're going to get into that as well, because that's always essential in this discussion. When the Bantu is going to attack mulattoes, you're always going to have their white massa on deck, sitting back there, right? Something the mulattoes got to figure out. I know a lot of you are too pussy. I'm talking to the men right now. A lot of you are too pussy, too scared, and that's okay. That's fine. You can hate me all you want, But bitch, you're going to wake up eventually. When you see all this information right in front of you and you still want to act dumb and act soft, right? Okay.
So,
Sorry, I'm old.
yeah, it's all
I was
good.
born in 1971. My bad.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm old. I'm born in 1971. Yeah, we know, nigga. Yeah, we all know. You're an old nigga. You're antiquated. You'll let this dude talk about biracial identity and you don't know where you fit in. And this fool's like, oh, tragic mulatto. Yeah, I heard about it. Yeah, we know you're an old, dumb nigga. You don't have any respect from the younger mulattoes. Straight up. For you to sit here in front of this Bantu who's attacking a mulatto man for his identity and you co-sign it, smiling and giggling. Yeah, you're out of pocket, bro. Just like DJ Envy. Okay, you people, you're in the public and you are enablers for this rhetoric to spread and to give the the notion that it's okay for these people to come up here on social media and to slander mulatto people and biracials. We're like, where the hell are the biracial voices? Okay, to push back against this. Where are they? I don't like your tone, Mulatto Vanguard. Stay your fruity ass over there. Stay your weak ass. This ain't the spot for you. I see you people on social media. I don't like his tone. Blah, blah, blah. Stay your weak gay ass over there. This ain't the spot for you. Okay. Don't let me find you and have to block you and get you up out of here. All right. Because I see people like this. They're enablers. They allow this to continue. Right. We got to nip this in the bud immediately when we see this. This came across my algorithm today. When was this published? July 12th. Yeah, a couple days ago. Yeah. Here we are talking about it right now. So now you have the biracial perspective. We have the mulatto perspective. Yeah, and we're going to challenge all of you.
If you're listening on audio, that was Elliot, not me.
So
the thing is, yeah, we know Elliot Wilson. He's old. He's just happy to be amongst younger people. I'm going to repeat myself. It's very obvious. And he's doing us a disservice to the biracial and mixed people who are listening to me, because he's doing us a disservice by being an enabler. And yeah, they have to get called out more than this band. We already know this guy. He's not one of us. We look at him, but they want to pretend that we can look just like you. No, you can't. Okay. But they'll pretend that because they want to bastardize you and they want your numbers for political influence, right? So we already know the game. Let's continue on.
The question that I have for you, Elliot Wilson, is
sir.
Do you think that plays a role in identity, and when you get shunned or feel no longer welcomed by one tribe, you then gravitate towards the latter?
You get shunned by one tribe. Now, the African American tribe, they're split, and we know this. There's been kind of a schism and split with them. They've never really been unified. In certain cases, like I think their strongest point was like the civil rights. And by the way, there are mulattoes who helped their black ass the whole way. Adam Clayton Powell, Thurgood Marshall, you name it. Harry or Belafonte, you name it. Their mulattoes have helped their ass, their ungrateful ass the whole time. But that was probably the only time I think of in American history where they're really unified in a sense. There's been kind of a schism and split with them. Even now it's bad to where you have this FBA BS where they're calling Nigerians and Caribbean. Like I had someone in the chat who even put the whole FBA and Caribbean thing. Like there's a schism now. They're talking about immigrant blacks, and you have some of these FBA knuckleheads calling people tethers and stuff, and you're not even a black American and all this, So that's the whole game they're going with now. They've never really been unified. So this guy's talking about like the tribe, but it's like the African American group, half of them are cool with Drake. They've always been with Drake. I see that all over TikTok and Twitter and X and all that. So like, yeah, don't get it twisted. I'm not an absolutist. I'm not throwing everyone under the bus. And sometimes, I overgeneralize, and I get that. But I'm not labeling everyone a certain way and I'm not an absolutist. But what I'm saying is with the whole Drake thing, yeah, half of the people are pro Kendrick because those are the racist black people. The people who are anti mulatto and they're anti biracial, they're racist and they're pro black female, they're pro LGBT, pro-liberal. Those are the racist black people who are liberals and LGBT and pro-black female who sign up with the whole Kendrick Lamar shit, who are pro-Kendrick, and they don't like Drake because Drake has a white mom. This is what people got to start talking about and being public about this. So there's a split, and then you have the other side. You have a lot of Black Americans who have always been pro Drake. I see that even on TikTok. Black men who have always been down with Drake, and they're making videos, making content. So I'm not throwing them under the bus, talking bad about them, because real recognizes real. So he's talking about the tribe. It's like, yeah, there's a lot of pushback from the racist blacks who are pro-black female and pro-LGBT crowd, the Kendrick crowd in America, but he still has a lot of like African American support because he's made the best music for like a decade. Drake we're talking about. So yeah, he could go to the African American side, but the other side shows him a lot of love. There's a market there. Why not explore that? That's what he's doing. That's why he's in England. Shit, I'm gonna go back to England sometime soon as well. I want to. Got to get a good reason to go though.
I believe that's very true. I believe that's very true. I mean,
I said it as clairvoyantly and politically correct as I could.
He said, I said it as politically correct as I could. He's trying to ask his white massa for approval. You see how he turns to the white guy who's maybe the producer? I don't know. I said it as clairvoyantly and as politically correct. You see that? He has to ask his white daddy for approval and how he worded the question. Shout out to Patrick. I'm gonna tag Patrick in this or make a little short clip so he sees what I'm, because Patrick already knows what's up. He's blunt like me. Patrick, you know, you guys know Patrick, right? I share some of his stuff here. He's very blunt, just like me. And he already knows what's up. The dark-skinned Bantu is always going to turn to his white massa for direction and guidance, as you just saw right here. He's talking shit about the light-skinned biracial man, the Bantu, and he's going to turn to his white massa to ask him, I said it, you know, politically correctly and correctly, right, massa, right? This is the type of shit I'm trying to show my audience. Do you guys not see this concerted effort and how this whole operation works?
It's very true. I mean,
I said
he's going to talk about a biracial man, biracial identity in front of an old ass, antiquated mixed guy that even the young mulattoes don't. We're like, who the hell are you, bro? You're sitting here skinning and grinning and smiling while this racist dark-skinned Bantu is trying to attack the mulatto man's identity. You're sitting here smiling. Who the fuck are you? You know? And then they got the white guy who's like the referee in the background. And of course, the Bantu's got to be like, Massa, is that okay? Is it politically correct? Watch this shit. I'm going to tag Patrick. Shout out to Patrick. Because
I believe that's very true. I believe that's very true. I mean,
I said it as clairvoyantly and politically correct as I.
You guys see that shit? I mean, I first saw this. I was like, this is so golden, man. This is right in my alley. This type of content, this is made for me. My commentary is essential for this because I've been talking about this shit for a minute. And like I said, shout out to Patrick. I'm going to tag him in or make a clip of this because it's like, you know, you can't make this shit up, man. They need their white massa. The Bantu works with the Anglos to attack the mulatto man. It is so right in front of your fucking eyes. You cannot avoid it. It doesn't matter what subject or what topic. We're just talking pop culture here with this Drake situation. I could be talking about something else. Like several weeks ago, I did a discussion. It was like in some white nationalist kind of thread over there on X, and some random Bantu showed up talking shit about mulattoes. I was like, you guys aren't even a part of the discussion. Nobody's talking about it. Was with the Tristan Tate thing or Andrew Tate. They were talking about mixed race, and you know, it was all about white people and mulattoes specifically, right? Because code word for them when they say mixed race, they're not talking about mestizo or hapa. They're talking about mulattoes, right? The whole discussion was about white people and mulattoes. So I was in that discussion. I did a stream on it. And out of nowhere, some random fucking moon cricket jumped in there to add his 2 cents about mulattoes. And that's what they do. They are opportunists. They jump in there to slander and to hate the mulatto man. Nobody calls it out. No one says nothing. It's perfectly okay. You guys all let it slide. Right? Let's continue on.
That makes sense.
Yeah, well, one thing I think that Drake has always played with cultural identities and never really stuck with one thing, right? Throughout his whole
He played with cultural identities and never stuck with one thing. Well, he's not you, bro. He's not an old loser that doesn't have respect from the youth. Drake can play with different cultural identities because his range is very vast. Like there was a song, one of his first kind of singles and hits was like Found Your Love, something like that. Something like Found Your Love. I don't know. And in the video, it's like kind of a Caribbean style vibe. You got like Jamaicans talking and shit in the song. I think that's a song Find Your Love or something. One of Drake's first kind of hits. And yeah, like he started out kind of with this Caribbean vibe because that was the vibe back then, like over a decade ago, 15 years ago, with like Sean Paul, and you had the Caribbean vibe, even with the cat Pitbull, with the Puerto Rican stuff, right? Reggaeton, that stuff was popping 15 or 10, whatever, 10 plus years ago. So Drake was able to jump into that whole kind of scene, so to speak, drew influence from that because that was the music that was popping. But they try to hold that against him because he's versatile. And this guy right here is like, he doesn't stick with one thing. Why not? He's versatile. That's why his audience is global. That's why he's one of the best charting, streaming, selling artists there is out here. But they're trying to paint it as a negative, his success. This is that type of that culture that you mulattoes who are proud got to get the fuck away from, because they want to hold you down and use your ass. And you got this old antiquated guy right here who co-signs this stuff. That's the thing. Like for a guy like him, it's like, man,
whole life and career, I feel like he is a product of that. Clearly, somewhat, didn't have the father in his life at the time. So there's one side of that. The diversity in Canada, in Toronto, I think all those things play a factor. But if you're talking about just a thing of like, if this audience, if the hip hop black crowd's not really messing with me like that anymore,
the hip hop black crowd ain't messing with. They're messing with him. It's just because the K bots and all the noise. There's a lot of them, the haters. They're very vocal today, and they have been the past year. But like don't get it twisted. Drake still has a lot of hip hop supporters. It's just there's the larger media platforms like what Joe Budden, like who the hell is he? Or Ebro. You have another like these guys who are like paid off by the labels to talk crap about Drake, because that's why Drake is taking to court the whole UMG, his record label. They're trying to act like Drake is suing Kendrick. He's not. He's suing UMG because they boosted up Kendrick to try to diminish Drake's market value with negotiating his contract. And the thing is, like, these record labels, they're paying off these punk ass podcasters like Ebro and Joe Budden to just talk crap about Drake all day. These people are making money talking crap about Drake. So like, but those are the larger voices, but that doesn't mean that represents the whole industry. It's kind of like in politics, you have the major media. People, and Trump calls it fake news and stuff like that. But that's not all of the media. Like, even for me, this is like independent media. For me, I'm not alternative media, and I'm not MAGA. I'm totally anti-MAGA. But is it fake news? I don't know. You tell me. Whatever. Let's continue.
Don't appreciate me, and I given you 10 summers, 15 summers of slaps, and I'm gonna go over here. Yeah, I think he's playing into that a little bit.
Yeah, he's trying to sound like he's younger and hip. Like I said, he's just happy he's around the younger folk. Talking about, I gave you 10 summers of some slaps. Because that's what the young cats were saying, right? That slaps. That track slaps, right? Is that the Z's, the Zennials, or what? The Zoomers, they call them. What is that? That shit slaps. Like, he's trying to sound like he's hip and shit. This old fool. For me, the thing is, you're taking a fat L. Sitting here smiling, talking about Tragic Mulatto. You want to cross kind of, interrogate Drake. We're like, bro, just shut the fuck up and get on board, or get the hell up out of here, bro. Because we're watching you guys now. The DJ Envy has done enough damage for light-skinned men the past decade. He's done so much damage to you guys. Like, and I say you guys because I don't identify as black. DJ Envy does. And he's lighter than me. I mean, literally, like, so I'm sitting here like, he's done so much damage for you guys, sitting up there with Charlemagne and shit. allowing that guy to hate on light skins. It's just crazy. And then you got these newer or his old guy, whatever, coming up. Nah, man, you got a guy like me out here. Nah, we gotta like let these people know what's up, that we're watching them. Fuck that. They think they're gonna come up in here and just co-sign these racist dark skins to hate on us. Fuck this shit. That's hate speech, Mulatto Vanguard. What you're saying is hate speech. Prove it. Prove it, because we're analyzing you. Everything you're doing and saying is hate speech against mulattoes, a biracial identity. Yeah, and a lot of these biracials are cowards. They need a guy like me to give them some hope and some inspiration. Unfortunately, I never said I was special, but I'm not getting punked by you people. And I analyze and I see this material. I'm like, who do these people think they are? Like, they cannot question Drake. Drake could literally buy and sell them, has all the influence and respect and recognition around the world. Like, well, that doesn't mean he's a good person. Nigga, you ain't a good person. You're talking shit about another man who's more successful than you, trying to cross analyze his whole identity and what he's doing wrong. It's working for him. He's making billions. What the hell are you doing? You're talking about him. No. Now, people like you allow these racist, dark-skinned Bantus to jump up here and attack mulatto men. No, you're getting called out for it.
But I think he still wants that credibility. He's still. I think he thinks he can do it all and then circle the block back and still get that and still be the hottest cat with the DJs.
And he is, because it's about the product. It's about the work. He makes hits that are fucking popping. And black people are the most musically inclined and intuitive people, black Americans specifically, on the planet. And Drake is a part of that because Drake's father is black American. He grew up listening to the Fugees, Lauryn Hill, singing and rapping. He's versatile. He can sing and rap. So Drake that's part of his culture. And so what I'm saying is that black people like good music, because black Americans are the most talented musical people on the planet. And so they're always going to like Drake. They're always going to support his stuff. That's the thing. So this guy's trying to act like, oh, well, Drake thinks he can just leave and then go over there to Europe and then come back. Yeah, he can do that because he's that guy. He's the GOAT. And black people are still going to show up at his concert and pay money to watch him. Black Americans, yeah, they will. Yeah, because they want good music. They want entertainment. And Drake is that guy. And as much as they'll jump on Twitter and Instagram or TikTok, whatever, and lie and pretend they're still going to bob their head and dance because Drake makes good music. And people want to listen to good music. It's about the work, the craft, period. So this guy is just like basically, he's playing games. I don't like it. Let's get into it.
He's set in Atlanta in the clubs. I think he wants it all. But do I think that he likes to play to that side of it if he seems like he's getting more love there at this time? I can see that. Absolutely. And I think he does lack a certain foundation.
Play that side. He wants to play that side. Yeah, we could play whatever. He's a global artist. He's not a regional little hood booger like Kenny, little fake pro whack from the hood, where he's stuck in like doing LA, like, whatever. He can go to Toronto and he'll make, because he's got to use Drake's name. That's why when Kenny went to Toronto, he was able to sell big and shit. Yeah, because he has to use Drake in order to get this kind of publicity bump. It's like you see that on YouTube with content creators. They got to get a larger, bigger content creator's name in their mouth in order to get their channel popping. I mean, they don't need to. They can just do their own content and strategize how to grow. But typically what you see, especially here on YouTube, this clout chasing shit, they got to use another content creator who's more successful, has a larger audience pool. They got to use them to try to get their message across. That's kind of what you see with Kenny when he goes out there to Toronto, right?
Of, I always say my upbringing, my father's side, my black side was more prevalent in my family, and my dad was very insistent in front that no, I'm black.
Yeah, so his dad drilled in his head that he's black. Remember, he's a 70s baby. He said he was born earlier. He said he was born in 1971. The generational nuance. It's critically important for the mulattoes, the younger mulattoes, to understand this. This generational nuance is ultra significant. This is that disconnect. Now, he's from a time that was literally a couple years post-segregation, post-civil rights movement. So his black father told him, raised him, that you're black, right? This guy was literally a couple years after segregation and civil rights movement. Like, we're not the same. Like, the generation, like, is really created a schism within this conversation, because I grew up in a neighborhood where my next door neighbor's white. A lot of my next door neighbors white. I had Vietnamese, Filipino next door neighbors and stuff like that, but most of my neighborhood is white. Teachers were white. I have a white mom. Went back when I had some hair. My barber was black. My mailman was black. My dad is black. Like, just my reality is different. My upbringing was different than a guy like him, this guy on the screen, who just came out of like segregation and civil rights. Like, we have a completely different reality. So his father drilled in him, in his head, that he's black. And this is the generational nuance. And shout out to J4 Conversations, because he coined that. He expressed that, because when me and him were talking, going back and forth with ideas and our kind of, experiences, that's what the conclusion that he came up with. It was like, look, there's a generational nuance, because the time period that we're in right now is not the same as it was in the 70s, 80s, or maybe even the 90s. Like, the 2000s, what we're in right now, 2005, even I'll say the past decade, 2015, 16, when Trump got in, all the way till now, this past decade, like, this is not the same time as these mixed guys you talk to that were back in the 70s, 80s. We're in a completely different time. So the mulatto guys like me, or millennials, or whatever, zennials, like, you guys got to figure out, you got to just create your own social media, create your own website, create your own business, your own brand. You guys got to figure it out. Network with some other dudes and gals and figure some shit out, because these older cats, like especially this guy, I'm not like talking about everyone that's an older mulatto, but this guy who's public with it, who doesn't identify with us, he just said his dad told him that he's just black. I mean, if you're black, what the hell is this other guy? This other guy here, let me get a screen of him, because he says, oh, his dad told him he's just black. We're looking at you. Really? You're black? Okay, well, let me get it. This guy, what the hell does that make him then? Blacker, right? He's blacker. Like, if this guy here is black, well, what the fuck is black? No, you look like a mixed guy. And that's precisely why they brought your ass up on here to talk about Drake and throw Drake's biracial identity under bus. That's precisely why. You're basically the kind of what they call the patsy, the scapegoat, to act like that the conversation they're having, like the guy asked his white massa, is this politically correct, right? They know the conversation they're having is very touchy, and it's very racist and coded. It's coded in anti-mulatto language. They know that's why they brought this old ass stooge on here to kind of give the kind of the clearance. Like, well, we got a mixed guy here. He has experience. He's just happy to be around younger people. Fuck it. Let's call a spade a spade. Fuck out of here. You guys disagree or you agree? You disagree or you agree? Whatever. Let me find out where I was left off at.
All those things play a factor, but if you're talking about just a thing of like, if this audience, if the hip hop black crowd's not really messing with me like that anymore, and they don't appreciate me, and I giving you 10 summers, 15 summers of slaps, and I'm gonna go over here. Yeah, I think he's playing into that a little bit, but I think he still wants that credibility. He's still. I think he thinks he can do it all, and then circle the block back and still get that, and still be the hottest cat with the DJ set in Atlanta in the clubs. I think he wants it all. But do I think that he likes to play to that side of it if he seems like he's getting more love there at this time? I can see that. Absolutely. And I think he does lack a certain foundation of, I always say my upbringing, my father's side, my black side was more prevalent in my family. And my dad was very insistent in front that, no, I'm black. So I always consider myself a black man. I'm also Ecuadorian and Greek. That's a part of who I am. But I lead as being a black man. I identify as a black man. And I took it the extra way of defending it, calling myself YN and yellow nigga and all these things extreme, to just show you this is who I am. I'm not trying to pretend or get validation from that crowd. I'm that person. I don't think Drake's ever taken a clear stance like that.
He's never taken.
He's become the clear because he's not even from America, but he became our biggest American entity, rap star, right, from Toronto. When that was a huge thing for it to ever think it was possible the Canadian rapper could be dominant in the American marketplace.
So that is another.
Yeah, but it is. I mean, even back in the 70s, you had, in the rock scene, You are not even 70s. Well, 70s you had Rush, but then you had in the 80s you had Rush, but then you also had the Police with that cat. What was that cat's name? Sting was his name. Sting, right? 80s, 90s kind of era. Police, right? I don't know if they're dominating the entire market industry, but shit changes, man. It's a global interconnected marketplace now. So, like the information travels faster than ever before. So, and like that was before with Rush and Sting in the Canadian market. That was before the internet, right? So I don't know about now. Even they had that lady, what's her name? My Heart Will Go On. Remember the Titanic song? Remember that from the movie Titanic? I think that was a Canadian lady who sung that song, My Heart Will Go On, if I'm not mistaken. I don't remember. But that was like, yeah, kind of prior to internet. So they've already kind of dominated some of the charts, etc. I don't know the whole market. It's like, dude, Drake has a Black American father. He has an African American father. He was raised in that culture and music. It's part of his blood, literally. Let me play. I have the clip on standby because I know I was going to have to use this to remind people what's up and to have this conversation in real time. So let me play this clip for you guys. You guys will see exactly what I'm talking about. Let me share this. So the video here, it says 9-year-old Drake rapping and singing. You still have my heart. Yo, boys and golden gates. Those who fake they break. When they need their 400-pound weight, you gotta rule the world. He's got glasses and everything, and he's 9 years old. So that's like 30 years ago. I don't know how old Drake is. He's like 38, 39. That's his father here. I don't know, is that his uncle or his father? That's one of his family members. When he's 9 years old, he's a baby. He's a kid rapping and singing with one of his family members. Like that is literally a part of his culture. So they act like they're all surprised. Like, well, he's from Canada, and it's never been a time when a Canadian, could you dominate the charts. But I'm like, bro, his dad, his family, his black side of his family, they're Black American. Like that culture has been passed down to him. And there's video evidence of this, but they still want to act stupid because it's convenient for their racist, anti-biracial man agenda. Yeah, you guys got to call it out. You let these motherfuckers slide. So I got to be the bad guy. I got to call a spade a spade. So be it. Fuck it. And with that, I kind of get the praise. As far as this mulatto shit, what else you got? Who else out here? You got Mulatto Mindset. Shout out to him. I appreciate what Mulatto Mindset's doing. But besides that, I mean, who else out here that's a mulatto man that's calling this shit out? I don't see it.
The layer on.
Let me know if I didn't call you out or shout you out. I mean, I want to see more videos. I see El Mulaton. I see him. And who else we got? Because a lot of you guys, you're in the discussion. You're like, I don't make content anymore. I used to make biracial. I don't make biracial content. Where the hell's your content? Where the hell's you're a biracial man. You identify as a biracial man, but you're not making this type of content to defend the integrity of biracial men. You see how these people are teaming up against you, and they get a mixed race guy as a stooge. This old ass mixed race dude. What the hell is his name? Elliot Wilson. Not the Bantu on the screen, but the other old ass mixed dude. They get him as like the fall guy to make it seem like their racist conversation is like socially acceptable. They get their dumbass, old stooge there. It's kind of like these racist people like who want to talk crap about black people, and they get some black Republican there to co-sign. That's what this whole conversation, the whole formula is the same. They want to talk about the biracial identity, talk about biracial people, throwing Drake under the bus because he's the top dog. The Bantus are seething. They can't do nothing to dethrone him. So they bring some dumbass old biracial or mixed guy to be the fall guy. It's the same playbook. By the way, guys, go follow me over on X, over on Twitter on X. The same username, same tag. Go type me up. You'll find me there. Go follow me over there. All right.
On top of what I'm asking.
Absolutely.
Like, you're not even from this country.
No.
Right?
They're saying he's not from the country, but I clearly showed a video with him and his father, a relative, singing and rapping to African American songs back in the 90s. So what gives? They're saying he's not from the country, but yet half of his family is from this country. So don't take these clowns seriously when they're providing half truths, literally, and false information.
So again, and this is, I don't want to keep harping on the back and forth, but I know the homie. Those, if you go into battle with someone who knows your pressure points and your insecurities, you're at a disadvantage, right? Yep. And so if you know someone and you completely cerebrally in the way that he was dismantled, it's like, how many till you feel like you're, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or come south and appropriate, etc. Right? You're not even from the country, let alone the culture, authentically.
See that? That's that blackness shit that no one's impressed with, bro. You have nothing that nobody else wants. It's only these weak ass biracials who are trying to be cool with you and trying to be down. And I see it on TikTok. I'll be honest, mainly I see a lot of women who are doing that. Well, I'm black just like you. I'm black. And then they try to prove themselves. Eventually they'll come around to it. They'll become a little older. Yeah, that is true. Cause they'll become a little older. They'll be in their 30s or whatever. Eventually, once they get punked and dogged out by enough of the blacks, like eventually they'll wake up, they'll find my shit. That's usually what I've noticed, what I've gauged with like the demographics. When they're hot and young, like in their 20s, and they're popping, they got the social media and they got all the black guys in their chat and what the hell are they gonna do with me? They don't care. They already got their numbers, their following and shit like that. But once they get washed up, and especially if they got, they become a baby mama or whatever, like, and then they're in their 30s or their 40s, I got, and then they understand what's going on. They've been used and hoodwinked, and that's not a good feeling. I know. And as a man, like, I was a young man in my 20s, and I realized it's like that membership access, and you feel like, okay, you just got to work harder or prove yourself and this and that you're being played as a fool in the whole process. For the whole membership access thing, it's the biggest con game for any mulatto man. To me, I tell the men, just do your own shit, build your own shit. That's it. You don't need to be a member of their group. They're jealous of you. This guy right here talking about like Kendrick, knows where he's from and who he is, and like that's that gatekeeping blackness shit. Don't play that game with these people. Just look them in the eye and tell them, I'm not the same as you. We're not the same. They're going to take offense to that because they're losing power and influence. They want to have power over you to kick you out of their club. They want to feel like they have some superiority over you, where they can dictate your identity and what tribe you belong to. Because that's the language they're using here. They're using the language of tribalism, literally out of their mouth. They talked about this tribe, that tribe. Listen,
back and forth. But I know the homie. Those, if you go into battle with someone who knows your pressure points and your insecurities, you're at a disadvantage, right? Yep. And so if you know someone and you completely cerebrally in the way that he was dismantled, it's like, how many till you feel like you're, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Or come south and appropriate, etc. Right? You're
appropriate. But I played the video of Drake singing Lauryn Hill songs, and Lauryn Hill knows what's up because she was at his concert in London or England a couple days ago. Lauryn Hill respects Drake, vice versa. Drake was singing and rapping to her music way back then, man, 30 years ago. And Lauryn loves that, Lauryn Hill. So she shows Drake a bunch of love. She went to his concert recently. Drake's a headliner. So it's like, he's talking about appropriating. What the hell? Who is this guy? This Bantu, the Bantu Projection, this DJ Hed. Who is this guy? He's talking about appropriating. Lauryn Hill co-signs Drake. We don't need this random nobody Bantu podcaster to comment on anything the biracial man Drake is saying. We don't need you, boy. Okay? You're just giving me material right now. So keep talking. You're giving me material.
You're not even from the country, let alone the culture authentically.
You could be speaking to me too.
You're not from the culture authentically, and you see a video of him 9 years old rapping and singing, right? See, they're colorists, they're anti-light skinned man, they're anti-biracial man. Period. And are the men gonna call it out? No, they're too busy trying to be cool with Bantus. I mean, I'm gonna be real. The only dudes, like I said, Mulatto mindset, he's cool. I see El Mulaton, he's cool. And I see a light-skinned historian, he's cool. Another cat, Patrick, shout out to Patrick. Like I shouted him out earlier. He's cool. I see what he's doing. And another light-skinned cat, I think his name's Lester Diamond. I believe that's his username on YouTube. He's cool. I see him calling it out. But there's only a handful of people who are either biracial, mulatto, or they're like light-skinned African American. There's only a handful of people who are calling this shit out. Literally, there should be way more. I should not be the guy that has like the loudest voice out here. It's not supposed to be this way. Like I'm a simpleton. I'm a simple dude. I'm not like special. Like, but nobody's calling this fucking shit out, man. That's why I'm pissed off. Like, how is it that they can jump up here and attack that mulatto man, Drake, for his identity when you know damn well that dark skinned Bantu is jealous and envious of that man, of Drake, and his success and his mutability because he has a white audience and a black audience, and that Bantu could never have that? You know he's jealous and envious. And they're going to mask their jealousy and envy, talking about identity issues. He doesn't know where he belongs and where he comes from. And nobody checks these fools. Like that's what irritates me. I got to be the bad guy. Fuck it.
I'm just kidding.
You're not from the country. You're not from the culture authentically.
You're not from the country, but yeah, his whole family, half of his family's from the country. They only talk about his white mama. Because remember, they're all mama's boys. Remember when George Floyd was getting snuffed out? He was crying to his mama, his black mama. Mama! Remember that? George Floyd? Yeah. Because it's a matriarchy, a gynocracy. 75+% illegitimacy rate. They're all raised by black females in their community. That's who calls the shots. So they're all gynocentric, and a lot of them, they're raised to be misandrist. That's why they don't work together and build businesses and institutions and industries with other men. They have to serve under their white massa, as you saw in this clip with this Bantu who turned to that white producer. Is that okay? Is that politically correct? I'm talking shit about this biracial man and his racial identity. Is that okay, white massa? Yeah, we see you, Bantu. Yeah. You see? Because they're raised by females. That's what it is. See, and that's all it is. And they attack the man.
You're not from the culture authentically, right? Then you add the other layer of what you just spoke on. I think I think Charlemagne should call him.
He said Charlemagne, who's another racist, dark-skinned Bantu who hates on biracial men. And of course, he's going to tag team and talk about Charlemagne. Of course, because they have a hive mindset. You know, and that's what there was one mulatto dude, you know, who referenced this a while back, was that, yeah, they're with this whole Drake shit and Kwame Brown, they're exposing that the dark-skinned Bantus have a hive mindset. They try to act like they're not really clicked up and they don't, have the same thinking and etc. But they'll click up fast against a light-skinned biracial man. I mean, they'll fight each other and kill each other if it's like a white guy's there, right? They're massa, right? But when it's because they look at you as competition. If they see a light-skinned biracial man, they'll get clicked up like Voltron to attack you. This is why this guy's talking about Charlemagne, because he knows Charlemagne is on code with the other dark-skinned Bantus against the light-skinned mulatto man. This is why he referenced Charlemagne. It's just incredible. These guys are telling on themselves right here.
Like, I think there's therapy that needs to be had.
Well, he said he has songs about he can't
Yeah.
do.
He said therapy. He's suggesting Drake needs therapy, and that's like the kind of subtitle here of this clip. Citing identity crisis, he says could use therapy for self-healing. This is all fucking projection and cope. This is ridiculous, man. I mean, I'm just up here late at night talking shit. This is easy content. What are these fools talking about? This Bantu with his white massa. He's got some old punk ass mix guy that none of the younger people respect to sit here and co-sign this shit. Nah, man, we're calling your ass out. Fuck out of here.
With the therapy, and he's still so angry about everything.
Therapy needs to be had because this is a deeper issue.
He needs Puff Daddy level.
He needs some therapy because he's got a private jet, billions of dollars, all the chicks he wants, like the women who are drooling after him. Like, fuck out of here, man.
With therapy.
And I
That's
think
like-
what's gonna and
That can't even-
I think, and this you can timestamp this. I think you're gonna like what you're disappointed.
Oh, we're time stamping it, homie. We're time stamping it. You're a fool. You're a court gesture. It's just typical Bantu projection. You will never be on that biracial light-skinned man's level. You and Charlemagne will never be on the biracial light-skinned man's level. The best you can do is get a dumbass biracial light-skinned chick who just wants to be black and to prove her blackness. So she gets with the dark-skinned knucklehead like you. That's easy to control because all they have to do is be light-skinned. These women, the ladies, they know it. They know they can just turn into fat pigs and be disobedient and be outright nasty because you guys will put up with it because they're light-skinned. The standards are so low. Like other races, other men were like, no, we expect a feminine, pleasant woman who has manners, period. I'm not talking about the weight, whatever. Like, you know, you can lose weight, gain weight. That's nothing. Just your manners, you're a decent person, period. Like being light-skinned and mixed, whatever, that's not enough. You got to actually be a lady. Okay. And for a guy like this, these like Bantus, they're not going to require any of that. That's why you look at the light-skinned women who deal with these guys. They're drunks, criminals, and baby mamas. They're just a fucking mess. And they act like dudes too. A lot of these chicks, you see that they act like guys. They're androgynous. They act like guys. They have the male cadence. They try to pretend to be feminine and shit. And you listen to them and you like and you look at the people who they surround themselves by, who they attract within their kind of social network. It's like these are just males with vaginas, you know, a mangina. Like they're these, you know, what the fuck? You're supposed to be a female. Like you're a biracial baby mama. You're supposed to be a lady, but you talk and sound like a dude. And like, what the fuck, man? You run into that stuff on social media. It's insane.
Disappointments are gonna get progressive. That's what I think. That's my
So
prediction.
Iceman's gonna be filled with this type of
I don't think
POV.
I'm not saying that.
Yeah.
I'm saying look at every action since last year.
Yeah.
You said it yourself. You haven't liked anything that he's done
Until now.
until
really.
now.
Really.
He's asking some old ass guy. You don't like anything he's done. He's trying to get this old antiquated guy he's all giggling and because he's just happy to be in the conversation amongst younger people. It's so obvious to see this. It's like he doesn't even belong. He's just happy to be there. I got the camera in my face. I'm on a podcast. I'm talking to the young folks about Drake. Like, who the hell is yous? Right? That's how they talk, right? That's what they say. What the fuck, man? But yeah, you're the mixed fall guy. You're supposed to co-sign for these racists to talk shit about the rest of us. Yeah, I got a problem with that, bro. Yeah, so you're damn right. My language is gonna be a little aggressive and assertive. Cause I'm like knuckleheads like you who are grinning, skinning and grinning, smiling. You think you're an enabler. You think it's okay to have this Bantu to just sit here and talk shit about us. You think that's perfectly okay. And you know damn well that Bantu probably has a white girl or a Mexican girl or a mixed girl, because that's their preference. You know damn well that's how they are. That's how they operate. Kendrick Lamar is a prime example. They got mixed baby mamas and mixed girlfriends, but they hate on the mixed man. You know this is how they are. And when I see you, some old ass dude born 1971, sitting here skinning and grinning, I'm like, bro, you're part of the problem, bro. This is unacceptable. This is very irritating, guys. Am I the only one or what?
right?
Noki was alright, but yeah,
But I'm just saying that that takes a toll on you over time.
absolutely.
So although I make my jokes and shit like that, but I really sincerely think that there's some
Fake sympathy from the Bantu. Like I said, what they're good at is scamming and trickery. The Anglos have the violence on deck. And Anglos, they try to position it that the Bantu is so violent and they're criminals and violent. Yeah, they promote criminality and thuggery. That's obvious. Their music. But the violence component, like that's the Anglos got that on lock. But the scamming component in the fake sympathy, like this Bantu's exhibiting right now, they got that on lock. He's like, oh, I sympathize. I'm due to jokes and blah blah blah. But I feel for Drake. I feel for Drake. You know that you need to see a therapist. This Bantu is not your friend. That's why when it like in the first few seconds where he's talking about how he has biracial friends, he's like, remember I played that clip, or not the clip, but the portion of that clip. I'll run it back.
Mr. Gates.
exactly. So I've had this conversation offline with friends of mine who are biracial.
That right there. This started out 14 seconds in. He said, I've had conversations with my friends offline who are biracial. Fake ass, lying, scamming Bantu. This is the scamming, the fake sympathy, the fucking lies. This is the type of shit they push. They act like they're your friend. Well, I sympathize with you. I understand. I got friends that are biracial, but he's attacking everything about your being. This ain't your people. Like, and they'll sit there and be like, we're all mixed and all this stuff. I don't give a damn what the hell you are. Like, you don't look the same. What the fuck? You're a colorist, Mulatto Vanguard. Okay, go talk to your mama about that. Just stay out of my business. You talk about us, you talk about the Mulatto man, we're watching you. And now we're reporting the news now. We're responding. So now what? You're going to help us grow? Yeah, you are going to help us grow. This is only getting started.
Right?
Noki was alright, but yeah,
But I'm just saying that that takes a toll on you over time.
absolutely.
So although I make my jokes and shit like that, but I really sincerely think that there's something that needs to be
But
done.
it's like I said earlier.
I take my jokes, but I sincerely think something. See, I was saying the scamming fucking Bantu. This guy couldn't sell me ice cream on the beach in 120-degree Fahrenheit weather. I see this scamming Bantu from a mile away. He couldn't sell me shit. You dumbass, pussy ass biracials who sympathize with this savage. Yeah, he'll sell you anything. Yeah, he can sell you old, crusty underwear from 20 years ago. And you punk ass biracials who sympathize with the Bantu, you'll buy it. But I see this savage. The language he's using, his articulation, talking about, I sympathize. I make my little jokes. My little light skin jokes. It's just jokes, guys. Why don't your biracial ass, make a dark skin joke and see how well they take it? Make a joke about them being slaves like Drake did in that song, talking about rapping like the slaves free. Watch how they take it. They're not going to like that. You notice that? Make your little dark skin joke. Let's see if they like it. They're going to call you colorist, anti-black. You see that? So, and this guy right here is talking about, oh, I make my jokes, but I sympathize. Something needs to be helped. See, I know the scamming Bantu. I see this from a mile away. See, I'm already astute and have analyzed this material and dealt with them enough. I already understand. I understand. My whole thing is these punk ass, weak ass biracials who haven't figured it out yet. Hopefully that, or just unsubscribe. Please unsubscribe. Unsubscribe. Unfollow me from all the platforms. Please. Your pussy bitch ass will be replaced. There's always a new mulatto every day who finds me on social media, male and female. If you're a weakling, please unsubscribe. Get the fuck up out of here. Adios. Someone else is going to come by who needs the information. I'm not the nicest guy, not the smartest, not the best, not the most professional, clearly at all. You listen to my language. But who else do you got? If you don't like this, bye. Go somewhere else. Go do your own thing. But I'm not trying to win over the audience. No, I'm past that. I don't give a shit. I'm done with all that. Nah, because you people, you sit back and you have so much to say about me and my tone, my delivery, but you allow these people to insult you, to insult mulatto men. Where are the mulatto men checking this fool? You know this Bantu's a scammer. Oh, I sympathize with you. You need some help. You need some therapy. Yeah, okay. Yeah. I'm gonna, if I have enough time, I'll get into some of the comments in this thread because they grilled this buster here. It was glorious to see.
You know,
On a
we're
on a
still
on a
in it though. He's
on a
still in the battle.
on a personal level, where before he presents himself to everyone else, I think there's some personal work that needs to be done, because the disappointments that
This guy's a straight fucking buster, man. I mean, I apologize for my French, but this dude's talking about there's some personal work that needs to be done. There's some personal work needs to be done. The dude's like a billionaire, you know? He's like the most popular artist around the planet. And this guy's trying to like give a psychoanalysis on Drake, on like the therapy he needs. And it's like, you're not in a position to give any coaching or any, psychological advice to Drake. You're a know nothing punk ass Bantu that needs to shut the fuck up and know your place. You're talking about mulatto greatness. You're talking about the mulatto man who's on top of the music industry. Just admit you're jealous because you'll never have the reach and the success and access to all these other groups of people that Drake has. You never will. You're a nobody. Just admit it. But they still want to pull rank with this blackness shit. Who the hell's trying to identify with the losing team? That makes no sense to me. They still try to pull rank. Well, I'm blacker than you. Both of my parents are black. I know who I am. Who the fuck's trying to be in a part of the losing team? That's so pitiful and despicable. And they still try to pull rank and they still try to act like they're in a position to kind of gamble and play chess and like they're winning or something. Like, who is this fool? Who is this guy fooling? Like, he acts like he's in a position to preach and coach Drake, who's a literal billionaire, like the best rapper, the best artist on the planet. Touring the world, has respect from people around the planet. This knucklehead Bantu dweeb still thinks he's in a position to give Drake advice. Just the insanity, the absurdity of it all is mind-boggling. Like, who this guy thinks he is. They literally talk to you like that. That's why, to me, I'm appalled. They look at you and think they're going to give you some advice. These are the same idiots who jump up in your comment section telling you, mulatto is a bad word. It's the same idiots. Isn't mulatto a slur? You're calling yourself a slur. These are the same idiots. They call themselves nigga every damn day, call themselves dogs, bees, and hoes, and all that. These are the same people. They still think they're in a position of authority to talk about you. Like, bro, get the hell out of here. Go over there and go, make me some food or something. Go do something for me. Okay. Go sit over there. Go dance for me and sing for me. Get the hell out my face.
you experience, I'm a fan too. The disappointments that I experienced, and then Elliot being, a homie / fan too. You're gonna keep experiencing these things, just like no different than somebody who has an addiction or has criminal whatever. It's just gonna be disappointment after disappointment because they haven't fixed the cause of the shit. That's just my.
He thinks the fix is regaining his dominance in the marketplace, and
he has a dominance in a marketplace. We just checked Spotify, Apple Music, Billboard. The song I just played for the intro, What Did I Miss? It's the top of the hip hop charts right now. The only person beating him is Justin Bieber. And Justin Bieber, I don't know, he's kind of versatile. He's like hip hop, R&B, pop. I don't know what the hell he is. I don't listen to Justin Bieber. It's not my music. So I couldn't even tell you what Justin Bieber's like genre is. He's like a pop, R&B, whatever hip hop guy. I don't even know hip hop, but I know he can dance hip hop. I know Justin Bieber can dance or whatever, but like he's the only guy that's like charting above Drake at the moment, this current week. So I don't know what these fools are talking about. Like, oh, he's trying to get dominance in the market. He has that, bro. That's why you punks are sitting here seething and coping at the fact that the biracial man is still on top. And all your hate campaigns and smear campaigns, it was ineffective. The people still love Drake. He makes good music, catchy tunes that they like. Fucking cope. Deal with it. Hating ass people, man.
Him
Crazy.
being viewed again that he's either equal to or mostly greater than Kendrick. It's really just a complete competitive. He wants to go back to the films that he was a dominant force in the culture.
Yeah, but
he
that's
thinks that success is going to make everything right.
no,
not therapy, not these other personal things.
And this guy's a punk. This old fucking this old mixed guy is a punk. I think he said his dad's black, the mixed guy, and then his mom's like Ecuadorian or something whatever mixed. So I'm not even gonna claim his ass as Italian or as as Italian. I'm gonna claim his ass as mulatto at this point, bro. I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you, because he's sitting here co-signing, talking. Yeah, the dominance. It is a masculine endeavor. That's why in hip hop the ladies sound kind of masculine. They talked about Lauryn Hill. Now Lauryn Hill she's just like Drake. Lauryn Hill can sing R&B and she can rap. She's a part of the Fugees, a rap group in the 90s. She can do both because she's very talented. I like Lauryn Hill. I'm a fan of Lauryn Hill. I've always been. I like Lauryn Hill. And yeah, so like I'm saying, like, and then the ladies, when they involve themselves in hip hop, it's a masculine endeavor. So they have who else? The Big Lotto, right? She's kind of sounds like a dude. She's all rapping and shit. Her fake ass BBL, prancing around on stage with her fake booty, and but she kind of sounds like a dude, right? Even Doja Cat, she'll be rapping. It's like kind of sounds more kind of that's the sport. That's the art of hip hop. It's a masculine endeavor. And when you're involved in masculinity, it's about being the best, the top. In any sport, any field, when masculine endeavor, there's a ranking order, a hierarchy. Yeah, and males want to compete with other males to see who the top guy is. So this idiot's talking about therapy, which is like some gay shit. Drake doesn't need therapy. His therapy is his art, his music. He's a top guy. He just proved that this week. And these two high estrogen losers here are coping with that reality. That's what I'm saying. Like this mixed dude who's sitting here like, oh, Drake just wants to come back and be the top guy when he needs therapy. He doesn't. His therapy is his music. He's number
Personal
one.
things. It's about the artist.
See, this guy's like, what the hell? That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm always going to go harder on these type of dudes. Then the Bantu, we already know. We look at them. They're Bantu. They're not the same as mulattoes. They're not us, period. And for the pussy ass mulattoes who want to co-sign and pretend like they're just like us, stay your ass over there and be a butt kisser to them over there. Don't come over here and show yourself. Okay, because when I go full time with this on all the platforms and I really expand and jump to the next level, trust me, I'm gonna keep receipts on you. And I see your little punk ass comments and shit. Nah, don't, no. Stay over there with them. I'm telling you, seriously. No, because we got guys like this who co-signs this. They're enablers. They think it's okay to hate on the biracial man for being great. They want to humble that man to prove to dark skins no. It's the other way around. They owe us residuals. We already helped their ass out. This guy is just happy to just be talking to younger people. Why are we taking advice from him? I don't respect you, bro. As a young mixed dude, younger than you. I'm not the youngest, in my mid 30s, but I'm like, I don't respect this guy. This is disgusting. You're talking about Drake needs therapy, really? That he shouldn't be focused on being number one? That's the whole sport. See, because they want to humble your ass. If it's some dark skin who wants to be number one, they're all cool with that. Yeah, Kendrick number one. And he from the hood. And he talking about our culture, the symbolism at the NFL with the flag, and trying to teach white people how they bad and racist. Like they're cool with that. If it's some dark skin who wants to be number one, like Jay-Z or some shit. But when it's the biracial man that wants to be number one, all of a sudden this fool's gonna tell you, well, he really needs therapy. Don't try to be number one and beat these other fools who are mediocre. You need therapy. Man, fuck you.
So
No,
if he could get,
bro.
let's go. If the art can get going,
If I can get
and-
back to
and he
number
get
one,
rubbing,
Let's go.
But that's also people-
that's the thing.
but that's again what I've described to you before. That's the megalomania of thinking that your power comes from the accolades of this thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's not where your power comes from. People don't fuck with effective immediately or serious. They fuck.
And he's a nobody, a fake intellectual. He's a nobody, right? He's not a rapper. you can't name anything what he's known for. He's a nobody. Commenting on a man who's the top selling artist of our generation for the past decade, Drake, Canadian biracial man. This dude, this Bantu, has nothing on him. That's why it's just so laughable to cope, to act like this guy's going to give some advice to Drake. Like, you're out of your league, boy. Like, you should know your place, but they try to pull rank with that blackness shit, that like slave shit. Oh, well, you're from Canada. You're not from this country. And blah, blah. It doesn't matter. His dad is Black American. He has that connection. You have nothing on him, boy. It's sad to cope here, to act like you're some authority.
With me.
To me, this guy, this hip hop dude, he's just like these manosphere guys. Because people talk shit about the manosphere, which they rightfully deserve. Because these manosphere guys are red pill, whatever. They need to get their money up, get their social status up, go to the gym, find their purpose. That's it. Stop complaining about bitches who don't want to spread their legs or give you any tail. That's such a minimal issue. Getting your status, getting your money up, that's the main thing these guys should focus on. And so yeah, the manosphere guys, they get all the hate and criticism, which, like I said, they rightfully deserve. But then they don't point the finger and say, well, guys like this is like the same shit. This is like the same thing, that the talking points, this guy, he's hating on the biracial man who's more successful than him. It's like these manosphere guys who talk crap about women who are out of their league. You got average guys who complain. They talk about modern women, but a lot of these guys, they're not in shape. Their money's not right. They don't got social status. So like they want women that are out of their league. And they want to give some like commentary on, and it's the same with this guy. He wants to talk about Drake, but it's like, bro, you're not even the same league. Like, and he wants to still act like he has some authority to speak on Drake. That's what gets me. It's that blackness shit, that American slave shit, that Kendrick shit. He wants to act like he has some type of authority to speak down on the biracial man, like the biracial man's his little brother or his son or something like that. Like, no, we're going to tell your ass what to do. We're going to tell your ass to go over there and clean that up for me over there. Go do this. No. Well, you're anti-black. You're a colorist, mulatto vanguard. Okay, well, you're anti-mulatto. You're anti-biracial. You're the colorist. You're anti-light skin. I just wish a lot more of you light skin guys would wake up, man. And it's cool. I mean, I see like the light skinned African American dudes, they're more vocal than a lot of these biracials. I'm going to be real. I'm going to keep it 1,000, because a lot of biracial men are punks and bitches. And they need a guy like me to give them some courage and inspiration. Like I'm saying, and I see guys like the cat, was it Patrick, who's very bold and very vocal. And I love the fact he's on camera. He's just like me. We're on camera. We're gonna look at you in the eyes on camera, be like, "Hey, fuck you. We're calling a spade a spade." So now what's up? And we both work out. So I got a lot of respect for a dude like Patrick, who's on camera talking that light skin shit. A lot of respect. And you got guys like Light Skin History. He's not on camera, but I like his videos, his commentary, and he calls a spade a spade. And that's the thing. I see a lot of light skin dudes who are actually putting in the work, putting in the material. The other cat, Lester Diamond. Pretty much with the mulatto shit, I just see just me and the other cat, the mulatto mindset. Who else is out there? What other mulatto man, biracial man's talking this shit? You got El Mulaton, shout out to him. But mulatto mindset's on camera. I'm on camera. We're out here, putting ourselves out here, talking this shit. I just like, man, we need a lot more. You see how these people, they're funded. They got their white producer back there co-signing, funding the whole operation, trying to throw our name under the bus. What? Now, you guys got to wake up and realize what's going on, man. They've been doing this for too long. I said this over an hour ago. They got like Charlemagne the Fraud and DJ Envy co-signing. That's their whole formula. They hire this light-skinned mixed stooge to be the fall guy to co-sign for their dark-skinned racism and supremacy against the men, not the women. They give the women the pass because they want to bastardize them. That's their culture. baby mamas, fucking hood rats, only fan models and shit. That's their culture. So they'll give the ladies a pass, right? But with the men, if we outshine them, they get super jealous. That's what they see with Drake. That's what you see with Drake. Let's continue on.
And Gina views.
And Gina, right? So, and that's something I had to learn too when I left my previous position. I went through a whole 2 years of what I'm telling him to do. It's like I walked away from it. I didn't do no interviews. I shut down radio, everything. I'm like, I need to figure my shit out, right?
Yeah.
And the reason I know is because I've done that work before, and we call it shadow work. You do the shadow work. You get a couple of books. I can recommend some.
I could recommend some. I didn't. Nobody's gonna take any advice from your dumbass, goofy ass Bantu. You got your hat backwards. Look at the other two gentlemen here sitting here. You know, they're looking at you. You got glasses, sunglasses on. You got your hat flicked backwards. That whole gimmick and setup, like you're a clown. You're a court gesture. You're just here. The white boy just, because he's making money, probably the producer. He has some side investment, whatever. You're just a goofy ass Bantu. And you bring this old ass antiquated mix guy here to co-sign the racist shit you're saying about light-skinned mixed men. Where's Carl Williams at? Where's where's the cat AMR? Where's he at? Where them light-skinned cats at, right? I heard them talking a lot about this light-skinned shit a few years ago, the whole golden sphere. I saw Caesar Cannon basically pussed out, which I'm not surprised. The dude already pussed out a few years back when he decided to fucking brandish his pistol on a video. He fucked up big time doing that shit. So I already knew his ass was going to puss out eventually. But I'm like, where are these other cats at? Where's, these other light-skinned guys? Like, where are they at? They're quiet. They're mighty quiet, aren't they? Interesting. And you got dudes like this who they hire, these mixed light-skinned guys, to be the punk, to be the fall guy, to co-sign their racist rhetoric against Drake. They don't like Drake the same reason why they don't like Steph Curry. They do not like to see light-skinned MLS, mixed or biracial, or if you're a light-skinned African-American, like a whatever, the cat, Chris Brown, they don't like to see you winning. They don't. And I saw the clip that Light Skin History shared from was it like an Angry Man live stream? I'm gonna play that, I think, pretty soon. Do a separate stream because I want to talk about that with some other material. Shout out to Light Skin History for kind of catching that clip, but that's all it is right there. It's like they don't want to see you winning, and they're on code about that. They have a hive mindset, and to me, this whole message with the stream, it's really geared towards the men. Because the men, like, the thing is, you guys got to stop being punks and bitches when it's right in front of your face. The strategy they're using, some old ass dude who's just happy to be around younger folks and act relevant and stuff, and like they're anti-biracial man. They see the biracial man Drake winning, and they're hating on the man. There's this dude's trying to talk about therapy and shit. Drake's a billionaire, private jet. Like, are they going to say that shit to Donald Trump? You need to see a therapist, or Elon Musk. But they're saying to Drake, he's trying to act like he has some type of status over Drake. Like, this is a boy. This is a Bantu boy. Who takes you seriously, bro? They still try to pull rank and act like you have nowhere to go. You just got to accept it. The one drop rule. This is that one drop rule language. You're a part of our group. Them white folks gonna let you know. I don't give a fuck what the white folks are saying. I'm telling you and everyone else out here, I'm doing my mulatto shit. Come holler at your boy. Come get this shit, bitch. Yeah, we're going to grow. We're already here. We're waiting for you. We're gonna grow. Come get this shit, bitch. Help me signal to these other mulattoes where we're at, what we're doing. We're not going anywhere. See, but they still act like this is like the 80s and 90s where, oh man, you just got to put up with my dark skin bullshit. You ain't got nowhere to go. Right? Like they're talking to some female or some shit. I'm just so disgusted. Like the language when they see this guy, he acts like he's trying to grandfather and try to punk Drake, like offer some like therapy sessions or something. Fuck out of here.
Carl Young.
If y'all want some, right? but you do that internal shadow work, and then it allows you to then prevail in a real way, in an authentic way, as opposed to pulling your power from being number one. That's not
Pulling your power from being number one. That is a masculine endeavor and position to be number one. That is innate nature of masculinity. But remember, this is a gynocentric soldier. This is a this is a gynocentric drone raised in a matriarch to serve the community. Remember, Kendrick, he has to placate to the dark-skinned queens. Who did Kendrick bring on his tour? He brought in a dark-skinned black pop singer, SZA, of course, because that's his market. That's who he has to connect himself with to sell records. Just like when he went on that Super Bowl, he brought in what's her name? Serena Williams. Of course he does. Because Kendrick Lamar is synonymous with that black gynocracy, the black liberal, female, feminist, lesbian, LGBT. That is Kendrick Lamar's label. And this guy, this whatever, he's part of that whole network. That's why he's thinking from that framework. He's talking about you don't need to be number one. You know, this is you're talking to the men now. The mulatto man's number one, Drake. You tried with the false allegations and smear campaigns to destroy the man's reputation. It didn't work. The man can regroup and go around the planet to Australia, England, wherever. Everyone, they're going to show up and pay money and support the man. You fucked up. You failed. You tried to get rid of the man. You failed. Because everyone knows you guys are conquered slaves. You're liars. You're frauds. Bantu liars. Bantu frauds. False allegations. Making up shit. Fake receipts. You're frauds. Your fiction stories. Bantu expose. So it didn't work. You tried to do it to Drake. It did not work. So now what? Now you're going to offer therapy sessions? No.
that's not going to be, that's a band-aid.
Well, I think it goes back to like trying to will your way back, which I think he was trying to do right after, isn't necessarily going to get you any further than you like that. There's a ceiling to that. And I think we were talking about this too, about like, if he does want to showcase he's the number one.
And this dude sounds moist as fuck. Just an observation. Dude sounds pretty moist to me.
Guy still and can get back to that spot, it's a really difficult position to be in, because we were talking about like if you're writing a rap, you now have essay assignments on it. On the top it says write a rap, but don't mention the guy who's in number one spot right now, because you know what that'll do. You can't really take a sub at Kendrick because you know he will either sub back or people will look at you like, why are you still talking about this? So now your assignment is like, you can talk about everybody else besides this one guy, but that's the real only guy who's bothering you, because you kind of took out Rocky and Ross and The Weeknd. You kind of dealt with
you're
that.
still considered greater than the other people.
Yeah, 20v1. He took out everybody, right? He said Rocky and was ASAP Rock and Rick Ross and The Weeknd. They had the whole industry against that man. They had UMG, one of the biggest record labels, you know, botting up, paying for fucking bots and promoting Kendrick's law. That's what the whole lawsuit's about. Because the industry, they clicked up with the Grammys, which is all bought and paid for, same folks, same paymasters, the NFL, the whole entertainment apparatus was trying to just humble the biracial man Drake. And they use the dark-skinned Bantu as a proxy. This is time and time again. I'm surprised these mulatto men haven't fucking figured it out. Develop your own brand, your own network, and connect with people. What the hell, man? Figure it out, man. I can only do so much. Like, I'm just, what the hell? I already told you guys, like, I'm just a simpleton. I want to travel. I want to explore, live a life. I play my guitar and just, I'm a chill dude. Like, I'm not special. You look at Drake. Yeah, he is special. I mean, he's like the top guy. And that's why they hate the man. They hate the versatility.
Still, so he's in this weird position. That's why I think the key to his success would be what got him success in the first point. And the reason why I became a fan is peel the layers back and give us what you're actually feeling. Like, I think people always forget.
In that song that I played, the intro, What Did I Miss? I saw a comment. It's on that video on YouTube. You put What Do I Miss on YouTube and Drake's channel. Someone put a comment in that the song where like how they're feeling. Like in that song, you can feel kind of rage, anger, but you can also feel like relaxed and like discovery. I don't know what the exact comment, what the way they worded it and they put it, but it was on par. Was like Drake is such a genius. He's musically inclined to where that track I played at the intro, excuse me. What Did I Miss? Where it starts out, where it's like this kind of heavy beat, right? But in that song, it's like there's different emotions that go through. That's why music is so pivotal and powerful. Like you feel anger and kind of resentment, like these guys did me dirty, they double crossed me, they screwed me over, I'm pissed off. But then there's a break and there's a point where it's like, okay, you're cutting the smooth point where you're like, okay, I'm more relaxed, I'm gonna get over this, I'm gonna persevere, move on to the next, I have a good life. Like there's so many emotions that go into that song. I wish I could eloquently express it. Like I saw a comment where someone put that was just perfect about that track, about what that Drake song I just played, where there's different you feel it when you listen to that song. I encourage you guys to rewind this live stream, go to the beginning where I play that song by Drake, What Did I Miss? Which is his recent upload like a week ago, which is charting at #1, where like there's different emotions in that song, like anger and kind of vitriol, redemption, but also like just overcoming like obstacles. It's that's his talent though. He's able to speak to people and their emotion. That's his talent.
Besides the tough guy Drake, the vulnerable, emotional Drake is really what, even
That's
though
what people like.
that got him a lot of hate at the beginning, and there was jokes and like Drake be like me.
It was ahead of his time,
but
and
that
it
was
literally influenced music overall. He doesn't get enough credit.
100%. So I think if he's able to do that, even if he's able to do that with perspective on the battle, I'm not saying I'm done hearing about what went on. I would actually love to hear what that feels like
But
to
real,
have a fall from. But be real about it. Yeah, you.
The Bantu's like, but what real though? You know what? Like a real black man. Like that's what they when they talk to like mixed women and other races of women, like Latinas specifically, right? They'll be like, you want to be with a real black man, right? We keep it real. You want a real black man. You want the dark skinned Bantu, right? That's what that whole real shit, keeping it real. When it's like they're the biggest sellouts, they sell their own into slavery and shit. It's crazy, but they push that real shit when they talk to the mulatto man. But keep it real though. We're gonna keep it real, right? Right.
You can have one of these songs. I'm not mad at the song again, but like I would love to see on the album, like, what does it feel like to be #1 and have the rest of the world actually not know who you are, where you stand, what everything like. That's life shattering.
Is this maybe a circadian rhythm? There's a song where he talks about he's trying to go through therapy and it's not working or something.
Yeah, he said, and he also said like the medicine or something to go to sleep.
Yeah.
It was, I think it was circadian rhythm. Yeah.
Go listen to Mr. Morale and Big Step.
I mean, Tyler the Creator said that helped him. Russ said that helped.
So that's it. I think I'm gonna probably check out some of those comments, but I'm gonna play that track one more time so you guys can get a feel of that, right? That Drake track. What did I miss? Because there's a lot of emotions that are going through it. That's the thing. Like I said, there was a comment that I saw that encapsulated perfectly. I might pick it up and be able to read it to you guys, the comment. But there's different emotions that go into it. And there's a comment. Shout out to Bunny Strange. She puts right here. What did I miss was definitely giving I'm not mad, just disappointed vibes. Yeah, exactly. Like, but there were other emotions that were in there as well. Like for me, when you first play it, you kind of feel kind of hyped and pumped up. Like I went for my jog. I went to the gym earlier today and I played that song. And when it starts out that beat, you're just like, for me, I got kind of pumped up. Like, yeah, I'm ready to kind of punch somebody, like someone did me dirty. I'm ready to kind of get mine in. And it's like, but then it kind of like soothes in. You kind of feel like calm and relaxed. Let me play that track and see what you guys think. By the way, guys, just as a side note, follow me over on X. I'm gonna keep plugging that. Go follow me on X. Go do it right now. Follow me. That's what I'm talking about. That whole switch up with that song where he's able to basically capture like several different emotions. Let me see. I'm gonna check right now. What did I miss? I saw a comment. It was like earlier today. I checked it out. I was like, yeah, they kind of hit the point right there with that comment. It was like, okay, I just found it right here. It says this song makes you feel pissed, motivated, and relaxed at the same time. Someone left that comment 5 days ago, and it has like 1,000 likes. That's under his video for the song. What did I miss? That's the comment that I saw earlier today, or maybe yesterday, whatever. I lose track of time sometimes. We're in the summer. I'm just chilling, you know. But yeah, that song, you know, what did I miss? It makes you feel pissed, right? When you start out, when a song starts out, you're kind of pissed. You're like, man, these people, they double cross me. They stab me in the back. I'm kind of pissed. But then I'm getting motivated. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to overcome this shit. Yeah, you're right. I'm going to come back stronger. But then you feel relaxed towards the end. Like, that's the thing. Yeah, pissed, motivated, and relaxed at the same time. It's a masterpiece. I mean, that's the musical genius of Drake. That's why a lot of the dark skinned Bantus are coping and seething, because Kendrick could never accomplish that. He just doesn't have the pull, he doesn't have the experience, he doesn't have the cultural intuition. You know, he represents, like I said, the gynocracy, the proud slave, the proud victim mindset, yearning for white approval. Drake is half white, half Jewish, half white. He doesn't need white approval. He already has that audience. He's not caping for them like that. It's the Bantu, as I shared with you in the video, where he turned to his massa, like, is that okay? It's politically correct. Is that okay to say? See, it's Kendrick taking pictures and shaking hands with Taylor Swift, doing collabs with Taylor Swift. It's Kendrick. It's the Bantu crowd who needs the approval of Anglos. Here's some comments I got right here. What bothers me is we don't psychoanalyze rappers who rap about deletion, trauma, and selling drugs. But for Drake, it's an identity crisis. We don't care about actual mental health. We just use therapy talk to call him fake. It's clearly coded. And this is a black man. And I'm addressing you as a man out of respect. Typically, I identify people, I'll say that's a male. Like I was like, that's a boy, you know, as a male. But you're a man. I'm going to respect you as a man, because you clearly see, and I'll like your comment as well, what it is. It's coded. Like it says, we just use therapy talk to call him fake. This guy gets it. He's got a blue check. I don't know what the hell it means. He got what, 400 followers. I don't know, it's just you're authenticating your account, because there's a lot of catfishers. I know there's a bisexual stalker who stalks me and stalks mixed women and mixed men, stalks our pages, and they create fake accounts, catfishing. So I know the authentication is important, but the guy here, like I said, he's mentioning where it's coded language. It's clearly coded. It's this fake therapy talk, right? They're trying to call him fake. Oh, he needs therapy because he's fake, but this whole identity crisis. But they never psychoanalyze these rappers like Future, who has a ton of baby mamas, bastard kids, illegitimate kids. Flavor Flav's another one. He has a bunch of illegitimate bastard kids by different women. And it's like they never say anything about that. They never have podcasts and psychoanalyze, because these are racist people. These are racist black people who are attacking the biracial man and his identity. You guys need to start calling it out. I mean, I do it, and you guys want to fucking whine and cry about me and my language. Go fucking shut up and suck a cock. I don't give a fuck. I'm tired of you people crying about me, but you bitches are silent. You say nothing when they're attacking this biracial man. You say nothing. That's what gets me. Elliot Wilson, who is older than both of them, couldn't even call him out on his racist tone just because he wants an interview with Kendrick. I'm disappointed. Yeah, this Elliot Wilson, this old ass mixed dude, well, he's a punk. I already mentioned that in the video, the stream. This Elliot Wilson, he said, they are idiots, Elliot. And his co-workers, Elliot Wilson, never done that with other rappers, bozos. Elliot Wilson, he's an opportunist. Yeah, he wants an interview with Kendrick. He's just an old nigga, an old mixed guy who wants to sit around younger people and act relevant. It's very obvious the way he was skinning and grinning. Like, oh, I made it now. People are going to do podcasts and reactions and they're going to watch my shit. I'm going to tag that fool. I'm going to share this on Twitter and tag that fool. So he knows that the young mixed people, they're watching his ass. It's a big major L. You let this racist dark skinned guy jump up there and talk about identity issues and all this shit. Like, you got to check these fools when they get out of pocket. But you just want to be there and be seen. And nah, man, you got to hold that L, bro. Nah. And this guy Blasix, right? Hip Hop Politics says, he puts right here, this is just racist. When Candace Owens and Republicans was saying this shit about Kamala Harris, y'all were outraged. But this is seen as okay because y'all hate Drake. She is beyond weird at this point. Yeah. Yep. All of a sudden, the racists are able to just bypass because they hate Drake because he's a biracial man. Like I'm saying, like with Kamala, all of a sudden they were all team Kamala, but with Drake, the mixed man, they hate. You see, yeah. He said DJ Hed needs therapy to get over Drake. Yeah, for real. Drake don't mention none of these fools. Yeah, because they're fucking nobodies, man. They're punks. They're like little podcasters. Drake is a jet. They're saying he's like a billionaire. That his bartender, he has a person who walks around and follows Drake. That gives, if Drake wants to drink, he has like a yes man. And Drake, he makes sure Drake always has a drink in his hands. It's like the dude's so rich, he has people that follows him around, not only bodyguards, but people who follows him around, make sure he has like a cold beverage in his hand at all times, anything he wants. Like, it's crazy. That's a whole different level, man. That's like presidential level. Like when you got like your own bodyguards and Secret Service and you got people, men standing next to you, making sure you have what you need at all times. That's next level shit. None of these rappers have that. Drake has that. That's why they hate him. The Bantus are seething. It's so funny seeing these people talk about him and then believing he's going to accept anything they say regarding his career, acting like he isn't still the one on top. Kendrick had his moment, but Kendrick hasn't ended Drake's spot on top. When the person you deem is not, has ended on top. When the person you deem as not being on top is still the topic of discussion over everything, you can't act like that person isn't still the most dominant person in history. I know. It's just they're coping and seething. And when I check most of these comments, I'm gonna check a few more. But like everyone's like basically agreeing with my assessment that these people are all, it's all cap. They're coping with the fact that Drake is still that guy. He's on top. You guys thought little Kendra made a dent, but he didn't. Drake is still the topic of discussion. And these like knucklehead podcasters are acting like their opinion's relevant. Like they're in a position to kind of give Drake advice. It's very deplorable. But see, that's because they try to pull rank with that whole black supremacist shit. Where like, I don't even identify with you. Drake identifies as biracial. He's publicly said that in many interviews and videos. He's biracial. He identifies as such. This is nothing new. And they're still trying to act like he has to identify as black. No, the fuck he doesn't. He'll go to Australia with the all-white audience. He's good. He'll hang out with Morgan Wallen in Houston, Texas at a country concert. He's good. He'll go to England, majority white country, a bunch of white fans. He's good. You former slaves do not call the shots. I'll say that. Drake's nicer. A lot of these biracials, mulattoes, they're a lot nicer. I'll tell you, you don't call the shots. You're going to call on your white master to try to cancel me and cancel other people, silence us. That's what you're going to do. Or you're going to get a little criminal, extrajudicial, which a lot of you do, right? You get all uppity and shit. I had some pussy idiot on Twitter several years back was like, this guy's Mulatto Vanguard's anti-black. Someone needs to G-check him. Up, screenshot. Let me take, okay, good. Got that as evidence. Don't make me a martyr, boy. Don't make me bigger than what I already am. Don't do it, boy. But I love this. Like, they still try to pull rank and act like they're going to tell Drake, like, give him some advice. You need to, no, you need to shut the hell up and know your place. Drake is bigger than all of you. Just deal with it. Right? Who's this guy? It says, I come from Canada to an American platform to get paid to shit on a Canadian rapper who has identity issues. Jeremy Glaze-Law. Is that the guy here was in the video? Dude sounded kind of moist. Is this the guy? I don't know. At the Bantu was asking this guy. Yeah, I think this is him. The same backdrop. This image, and it's the same, the Bantu turned to him, was like, is that okay? Am I politically correct? Is that okay? Fucking Bantu. Had to turn to this fool. And supposedly that dude's Canadian. That's hilarious. Not surprised. The identity crisis being that they don't like him being mixed. That's what it is. I like the comment. I already retweeted it from this cat. I don't know who this is. It's a black dude. That's what I'm saying. So I'm not like an absolutist. And this guy says 100 black men right here. Yeah. So he's a part of the organization, 100 black men. That's like a black male advocacy group where they help out black youth. I've heard of that group. He says an NGO director, which is non-government organization, I believe, writer. Yeah. So, I like the guy's comment. He says USA Today, whatever. I could tell by the image avatar, is a black dude. He's right here. The identity crisis being that they don't like him being mixed. That's what it is. That's all it is. They don't like, and it's because he's a man. We got to be clear. Because he's a man. Because they see Jen Aiko, they don't really say shit about her. Don't do they? Mariah Carey. Like they look at these female performers, Tanashi, they kind of don't say anything about them, right? But with Drake, it's also with Drake is because he's on top. Because the Bantu will try to lie to you and say, what about J. Cole? Well, J. Cole will never be number one, homie. And I like J. Cole. He's a sick rapper. He's solid. His lyrical flow, his style. J. Cole is he's good. I like J. Cole. No cap. He's a sick rapper. But he'll never be Drake. Let's just keep it 100. Let's keep it a stack, as that's what they say. And that's why they hate on Drake, because he's a top dog. So, and like I said, this guy right here, yeah, the identity crisis, that they don't like him being mixed. Period. Because he's a mixed man. Everybody thinks Drake has a problem with being light-skinned, but Drake. Yeah. They don't like the fact that he's light-skinned and gets bitches. That's it. And has money. They hate that about him. These dudes are weird as hell. And they closet racist. See, you got other black people calling out these racist blacks. That's what I love about it. And I seen this in this. I'm just going down the comments, guys. I'm not going to get to read all of them, but I'm just going down the comments and people are calling them out. We're like, yeah, this is the thing. They hate the fact that Drake is mixed and that he's light skinned. And these are racist black people attacking Drake and his identity. This is it. Like, people are starting to see the connections now. And that's what I love is I see black people and black men doing it as well. I respect that. Shout out to you guys. I'm not throwing you under the bus. I'm, if it don't apply, let it fly. If some of the stuff or rhetoric, whatever you want to call it, that I say, and I'm not talking about you, just let it fly. I'm not talking about you. We're good. We're cool. But some of these fools, they got to get called out. And I use some choice words because, yeah, they're clearly racist and anti-mix and anti-light skin, anti-biracial. But I love the fact, and I see some of these black guys, they're calling it out in the comment section. Yeah, they're closet racist, low key. And the only thing they think they can say bad about Drake is that he's light skinned. That's it. When Drake released that whole like Heart Part, or is it called the Heart Part 6 or something like that? Some idiot put a comment about like, that's the most light skinned diss song I've ever heard. They're trying to say it's weak. It's light skin. It's weak. That's it. They're the first ones to bring up skin tone. And they're also the first ones to cry colorism. But yet they're the first ones to talk about your skin tone. Make it make sense. And they cry colorism and shit. and cry racism and anti-black racism, but they're the first ones who are racist and anti-mulatto. Make it make sense, right? He put right here, just goes to show how evil black people are. Yeah. And then the guy in the video, the Bantu, I try to tell you, he masks it as if like he cares about Drake and like, oh, he needs some therapy. He's like, oh, I know I might make some jokes, but seriously. As I'm saying, that's that Bantu Jedi mind tricks. Don't listen to them. The fake sympathy. Oh, I care about mixed people because the white supremacists, they do the same shit. Because remember, the black supremacists, they get their cues from white supremacists. They do the same crap. The white supremacists will say, don't have mixed kids because they'll have identity issues. It's not good for the kids. You got to look out for the kids. See, the white supremacists say the same shit. The black supremacists will be this crap with Drake. Oh, I care about Drake. He needs to see a therapist. The identity issues. All jokes aside, it's the same racist people, whether they're black or they're white. They're racist. They're anti-mulatto. Like, how many mulatto voices do you have calling this out? And guess what? You're gonna get justice for talking that crap. It's like, yeah, we're watching. That's what I put. I'm watching. I got a couple likes. Yeah, we're watching you, boy. This guy right here, 47K followers over there on X. Yeah. Yeah, you're talking all this shit about the mulatto man, talking about therapy. Don't let us find out that your partner, your wife, or whatever is a non-black woman. We're going to roast your ass. You're going to be just like that dude, what's his name? Phil Advice Show, Tariq Nasheed. You got a black audience, but you're married to a non-black female. Be just like those scamming grifters. See that? Yeah. Talking all this shit about the biracial man, jealous ass Bantu. So yeah, what else do I need to do? I mean, all these comments, guys can check it out for yourself. I think I've said enough with this. And I can share that. Because it's late too. I gotta get get up out of here, guys. Let me check out what you guys are saying anyways. And then let me get up out of here. Yeah, DJ Envy is a punk, huh? Yeah. And he put here, he sucks the Bantu's dick so they don't question his blackness. Yeah, that's how it is. Yeah. Yeah. They basically coddle Bantus so that the Bantu was never going to check them and be like, well, you're not even black. You're not a black man. They don't want that question to pop up, especially because they spent their whole life building their whole identity off being black. Then the Bantu can just take it from them and kind of pull rank. That's what I refer to as pulling rank. Well, I'm blacker than you. Well, I'm a real black man. You got a white mom, so you don't have the same experience as me. See, the black identified person, they are scared of that conversation, having their whole reality shattered in question. They built their whole reality of being a fucking virtue signaling, black ass kisser. That's their whole reality, so they don't want that question. It's pitiful, to be honest with you. But these people can't even maintain a basic family. Yeah, 75+% out of wedlock birth rate. Whose fault is that? It the white man's fault. The white man's fault. The mulatto problem. The white man used the mulatto against the Negroes because we were kings and queens in Africa. We built the highest civilization, Wakanda. We all kings and queens. We the smartest in the world. We were kings. We ruled Europe. The original people of China are black. The original people of the Philippines are black. The original indigenous aboriginals of the Americas are black. We're the best, most dominant. The CDO father. We are black. Oh, but the biracials, it's an agenda. The white man using Drake, the biracials. And Drake is Jewish. They're using, you see, this is, they act just like their white supremacist masters. These black supremacist Kendrick Lamar fanboys. It's the same rhetoric. They act just like them. There's a YouTube channel called Nihilit Sudan, man discussing how Bantus are self-hating, migrate everywhere, take everyone's culture from Egypt, Islamic, Arab, and now European from Atlantic slave. Yeah. Never heard of that channel. Interesting, though. Say Sudan. Yeah, Bantus are self-hating. They migrate everywhere. The Bantu expansion happened centuries ago, all over through Africa. And the theory is they originate in West Africa. And obviously, most of the Africans in the Americas, their lineage is from West Africa, even in England and Europe. Those Africans that are in England, they're from Nigeria and Jamaica and shit, or the Caribbean. Those are West African Bantus, most of them. So yeah, that Bantu migration and Bantu expansion has happened a lot. What they're doing now is with this whole seed to your father rhetoric. This is this new age Bantu expansion. They want to bastardize other groups of people and spread and say, we the seed of your father. This is part of their new age Bantu expansion. Yep. Bastardizing other groups and claim that the offspring is black. But that offspring's not going to identify with you. Once they learn about you, they're going to realize, oh shit, they have other options out here. You put Bantus are a different race and they hate themselves, unlike Nihilites. Yeah, I think the Nihilites, that's what, East African, I believe. Yeah, that's a different tribal group in Africa. Yeah. Yeah, I got to look more into that. I have to look more into that type of stuff. Good point, though, Jason. Even when I was a kid, I always saw them trying to kiss up to their white. Yeah, that's what they're known for, right? The antiquated cat probably doesn't even know where he is. Yeah, he's just a sucker, man. And they make us look bad because they bring on some old ass mixed guy to be the fall guy, or they might bring on some gay mixed person or some black identified mixed person. Might as well be a gay mixed person if they're black identified at that point. And just to basically shit on the rest of us, talk crap about the rest of us that are mixed or mulatto identified. That's what they do. They bring these people on. It's the same playbook as these racist white people who want to talk racist rhetoric about black people. They bring on some like black conservative, it's the same playbook. They're doing that just with mixed people. They'll bring on some punk ass, opportunistic, mixed, old ass mixed person, act like their opinion matters. When it's like, bro, you're just an old guy who you're just skinning and grinning, smiling. You're just happy to be around younger folks. Fuck out of here, man. You want to say tragic mulatto, throw us all under the bus. Fuck out of here, man. We got microphones and cameras and shit now too, bro. You're lucky that for a guy like me, this is just some part-time shit. Shit, if this, yeah. You get shunned by one tribe. It sounds like this guy is inferring that mixed people aren't accepted to some extent in that community. Exactly. You make a very valid point because they weaponize the one drop rule. So they'll in-group you and out-group you. They'll claim you as black if they can use you. That's what a lot of these mixed people who are black identified and they're knuckleheads haven't figured it out yet, is that they'll wave that black acceptance over their head as a cookie or a carrot, right? As long as you act right and say the right things, right? As soon as you get out of line with them, then they'll kick you out. That's what he's saying. You're shunned by one tribe. But it sounds like this guy's fearing that mixed people aren't accepted to some extent in that community. Exactly. They'll use that opportunity to kick you out. What they did with Drake. Drake was all a part of the hood, a part of the culture, right? Until they found an opportunity to kick him out. Just the jealousy. It's just the colorism, the dark-skinned Bantu colorism and jealousy of the light-skinned biracial man. It's at an all-time high. And the Drake situation exposed all that. Shout out to you, Val. It's always a pleasure for you to be here. They want white zaddy to enable them on their hate against mulattoes. You hit the nail on the head. Let me see. Do I got a soundbite for that? Because you just laid it out right there perfectly.
Shit, Negro. That's all you had to say.
Yeah, they want white zaddy to enable them on their hatred against mulattoes. That's why he turned to his white zaddy talking about, is that politically correct? Is that okay? Yeah. Yeah, clairvoyant. Asked as clairvoyant doesn't sound right. Is it politically correct for me to talk about the identity issues of this biracial man that's a billionaire that could buy and sell me? Crazy talk. This Bantu is literally acting like a dog waiting for massive approval. And that's what, hey man, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. That's why I don't respect him. I talk my shit. I'm like, I don't respect you people like that. I see you people sucking up to whites, sucking up to Anglos, talking shit about the biracials. You got a biracial dude like me. I'm saying I don't respect you people. And I don't give a fuck if the hood rats will cape for your dumb ass. Because a lot of them, they're either lesbian, gay, or they end up as baby mamas. I don't give a damn about them, honestly. I'm gonna be real with you. They're not mulatto identified. They're not helping us out. What the hell? I got no business with them. Freeloaders. They're not cash apping me. Fuck out of here. They're gonna co-sign this racist Bantu. Fuck out of here. Wrong spot. They can't do anything without their mass approval. Yeah, you guys get it. I think Joe, you're a dude as well. You guys get it. Yeah, they need their white massa for everything, and their white massa is gonna weaponize these Bantus against the mulattoes and mixed people. That's what they're doing with Drake. Yeah, remember that song? That was dope song he made back in the day. Yeah, he has a lot of tracks. Yeah, to other races. They want other race approval. Yeah. Yep. Oh yeah, so he is first generation mulatto. Not even one of these second or third generation mulatto. Yeah, that old ass dude born in 1971. Yep. Yeah, he's first generation. Yep. Born in 1971, a couple years after the civil rights movement. He's gonna sit here and talk to you about therapy. I think his ass needs therapy from what he saw in the segregation days. We don't have the same reality. I know Drake doesn't either. Drake's older than me by a few years. We're around the same generation. We have a different reality than some of these old heads. I don't know what the hell they're talking about, man. All they didn't have an option. They just had to be black. Black identify as black. These newer biracials, they have options, man. They don't have to just be around blacks and identify with them. There's enough biracials, enough mulattoes. We just identify with each other. Where I'm at, the community I'm in, I was at a Walgreens pharmacy earlier today. I walked in there to buy something. There's a mulatto guy who walked in behind me. I was like, oh shit. I kind of gave him that nod. Oh shit, cool. It's cool to see another one of me in there. As I was in the checkout, and guess what? A family walked in, but it was a white woman with her mulatto children. She had like 3 kids with her. One was like a teenager. The other 2 were like, I think she had one that was like a toddler, and one was like elementary school level. Whatever. I don't know the age. But it was a white lady with her 3 kids. They're all, so I was like, oh shit. The whole building is filled with mulattoes. This was today, several hours ago. I walked into this Walgreens down the block from my house. And I'm like, damn, and everywhere I turn in this society now, like I'm seeing like our numbers are here. We have, like, we just identify with each other. There's enough of us. It's just, there's no excuses. So you talk to these old ass mulattoes who are still trapped in like the fucking 1970s or 80s. I don't get it, man. I'm not with you on that, bro. Can't help you out because I'm looking at the future and it looks pretty good as far as what I'm looking at. There's enough of us. We just got to click up, have each other's back, support our businesses, and I'm open to deal with everybody, business with everybody. Like I'm not an isolationist. I'm not a separatist. But I believe and I will fight for the autonomy, sovereignty, and dignity of mulattoes. And this idea where people can jump up here on social media and slander our name and slur our name, we're just supposed to sit here and just accept it. I'm not doing it. I'll be the bad guy. I'm not doing it. Nope. Won't accept it. Okay. Hopefully my goal is you guys can get some courage, start putting some content out here. Mulatto Mindset's doing that. The Mixed Lens is doing that. Flowers Telling Stewart, she's doing that. Renata Mulata, she's doing that. Mulata Mermaid, she's doing that. She's putting content out here. Even on Facebook and TikTok, you have Biracial Awareness. He's doing that. Unapologetically Biracial and Proud. They're doing that. These mulatto women are doing that. I see these content creators on other platforms. They're doing that. They're putting their content out there. And also, yeah, shout out to the people in the UK. You know, the mulattoes out in the UK. I don't really see any dudes, mulatto men in the UK putting out, you know, multiracial content, etc. But I do see the women doing that. So I don't know, but that's just what I'm seeing. Nobody knows what a black person looks like now. Yeah, black people claiming white people. Yeah, redheads and gingers and all that. Yeah, they're confused. And they project that onto us. Yeah. What street cred, how many actual gangbangers do people think are also hip hop artists? Most of the rappers are putting on a show. So there's another clip I want to play because I was going to save it for another time, but I'll do it right now since we're talking about it. Because they talk about this like putting on a show shit. They talk about Drake, that he's not authentic, that he's like acting. He's acting like he's like from the hood or something, or he's trying to pretend to be a rapper. But the whole industry is about that. All these rappers, they're like actors and shit, right? They're putting on a front. It's a persona to market and sell this image of hip hop. You say of street cred. Now, this is a clip of Tupac Shakur when he was 17 years old, long time ago in the 90s. Or actually, no, it was 1988. So not the 90s, 1988.
I've seen guys speak to women with this much respect, and I deplore that. My mother is just told. I grew up. My mother raised me, so I have this much respect.
And he sounds extra moist. Remember Tupac Shakur, who's a great actor. I like his movies. Above the Rim and a Juice, and then he did Poetic Justice with Janet Jackson, and then he did Juice, Poetic Justice, Above the Rim, and then he did another film I don't remember at the moment, but he did a few films, you know, and they're good movies. I think he's a good actor, but he went to like performing arts school as a college. He's a college graduate. Tupac Shakur. This guy was trained in like opera and theater. He's a theater student. And so people forget that. But this is him at 17. And he sounds super moist, which we all know within the theater realm, okay, and acting and theater, it's a bunch of flamers. It's a bunch of LGBT people. Right? And this is an interview. Granted, he's 17 years old, he's young, but still, like when I was 17, listen to this guy.
Respect for women, and I fight often because of that, and it gives me a lot of friends. I mean, I get a lot of friends but I get a lot of friends because I have respect for women, ultra respect for women. But then, like I was liking this girl in Tam, and
yeah. So getting a vibe of little bi there, not biracial, but bi, something else. And it's like, yeah, so he shaves his head, he gets a thug life tattoo. It's all a show and persona. This is a guy who is classically trained in theater, who has credentials with movies, has movie credits. Like I said, he's a good actor, but also his hip hop shit, that's acting as well. He's basically continuing that art within his music, with the acting art within his music.
And I'm extra nice, extra gentle.
But they give him a pass because he's a dark-skinned Bantu sympathizer. See, when it comes to the biracial man, Drake, the mulatto man, who is on that, Nickelodeon or whatever TV show, Degrassi, I've never seen one episode. I don't plan on watching one. I don't care. I think I saw a clip, whatever. Then Drake is in a wheelchair. It's like, this ain't for me, homie. I mean, that's an old show. I don't care. I don't want to revisit it. But what I'm saying is they want to throw Drake under the bus for being a kid in a wheelchair on a fucking TV show. But look at moist ass Tupac, and they're going to give him a pass. Why? Because he's a dark skinned Bantu. You're dealing with racist people who are anti light skinned biracial.
Man, I'm extra just like, oh, you're beautiful and you deserve the best. And she told me I was too nice. I couldn't believe it. It wouldn't work because I was too nice. That was the ultimate.
Yeah. I just want to share that. I had that, because you mentioned right here about like the street cred, right? You said that most of these rappers are just putting on a show. They're all actors. That the whole hood persona, but they try to act like that with Drake, that he's like inauthentic. But the best rapper, which I think Tupac's the best. I'm biased because I'm a West Coast dude, 90s baby, millennial. I'm a West Coast dude, so I'm biased, right? Like I said, I like Tupac. I like his music. But you look at that interview, you're like, okay, that's sus. The guy is clearly bisexual, which I'm not taking away from his talent, but I'm just pointing out where it's like people ignore that reality with his little nose piercing and shit. They ignore that and give him a pass because he's dark skinned. That's what I'm saying. Like, but they're colorist, they're racist. Like they hate on the biracial man Drake because he's light skinned, right? So, but they're all a bunch of fakes and they're all acting and all this shit. But they let certain people slide, right? The people who have the complexion for protection in Blackistan, right? And Drake doesn't have that. That's why they're really trying to throw the gauntlet at him and try to humble him. This video is golden. It shows that Drake was always into black culture. All that talk about him being a vulture is just anti-mulatto racism. Yeah, pure facts. They're anti-mulatto. And what I'm saying is I'm shout out to the black people. Like I said, I'm gonna post the clip or the thread, the X thread in the description box, so you guys can see. You can go through all the comments, and I already read a few of them for you guys, where you have a lot of black people agreeing. You have a lot of black people calling out the racism, and I respect them for that. Hey, shout out to them. Like I'm saying, like, no disrespect for them. If I said something that's offensive, I apologize. I will apologize to you. 100. And one of my deficits is I overgeneralize, but no, shout out to them. I've seen this with this whole battle with Drake and Kendrick, where clearly people are attacking Drake just because he's a light-skinned biracial man. But I'm seeing a lot of black people call it out, and I appreciate and respect that. They're calling a spade because the racism and the colorism in the black community from dark-skinned women and from dark-skinned men has got to be called out. They've been getting a pass. People been feeling sorry for their ass. Oh, they're a victim and they're victims, and people been feeling sorry, but their ass is getting called out now with this whole Drake situation. They've been throwing that man under the bus, false allegations, smear campaigns. They've been doing the worst and too much to destroy that man. And they haven't done shit because the man is still like popping. He's still on top. It's like, what the fuck? It was just ineffective, but they've exposed themselves. And a lot of these people, they create their social media platforms. I'm going to expose you. You're going to get exposed. I'm going to expose you. They expose themselves. It's very pitiful, but that's the culture they promote, which is pro-black, pro-LGBT, pro-criminal, pro-stalker, all that crap. Basically, Drake is half American, not fully Canadian. There you go. His mom's Canadian Jewish. His father's African American. It's all public. It's not, secret. Yeah, this panel is basically Nick Fuentes sitting with Candace Owens, talk about blacks. Yep, it's just in reverse. It's just, and basically the Nick Fuentes guy is that the racist black Bantu you saw. He was a racist who has an agenda. It's anti-mulatto, right? I don't want them to come back after having kids by Bantus. Hey, I think you're a dude, because if you're speaking like that, I'm pretty sure you're a guy. Because that's my whole, and I pissed off a lot of the ladies. They left. That's cool. It wasn't meant to be. There's a lot of people in this world, a lot of women around the planet Like, that's cool. Like, this is just not the vibe. It's not the channel for them. It's cool. Like, I'm no hate. I still got love for you. I guess, but you know, you allow these Bantus to like lay up in you like that, who hate guys like me. They hate men like me for my existence because I'm a mixed light skinned man and you're a mixed light skinned woman, and you lay up with dudes who hate guys like me. It's like, and then you're a baby mama now. Those guys are nowhere to be found. And then you come look at me. It's like, but you gave yourself to a guy who hates me. Like, how is that supposed to make me feel? Like, it's insane. And yeah. So you're a dude. I can tell by that comment, because you know, it's just, if you're a baby mama by one of those Bantu guys, like, what are you doing over here? Seriously, lady? Like, I think you kind of got lost or something. The ones that used to say that light skinned men are soft when they were younger better not come back. Yeah, now they're baby mamas now. I love us light skins. We got to get together, right? After she gained 500 fucking pounds. Yeah. Let's entertain the fact that if Drake was appropriating, what are they going to do to stop him? Nothing. They're not going to do a damn thing. Just cry and complain, right? They have no power to do anything to anybody without their massa. Yeah, they need their massa. See all the doxing and shit, and they file fake police reports. They call CPS. They put protection orders. I'm gonna get a restraining order on you, right? All this, they have to employ their white massa or their Hispanic crooked fucking judge. They're always gonna consult legal counsel that aren't blacks, that are going to be whites or Hispanics, corrupt officials. They're going to consult with them to try to humble mixed and mulatto people. That's how it always is. They're not going to go call on other Bantus to help them out. They're always going to call on their white massa to try to humble mixed and mulatto people. That's how it is with them. That they will always do that. It doesn't matter whatever sphere of influence they're involved in. They will always call on their white massa to try to silence you, to humble you. It's the same. That's how they always operate. The Bantu is saying that Drake is not the culture, yet the moderator of his hip hop podcast is a white man. You hit the nail on the head. So you're speaking my language. You see how that is. But that's how the Bantu operates. The Bantu is going to always try to pull rank and G-check mulattoes and say, well, you're not a part of the culture. You're confused. You need a therapist. You're not a part of what we're doing here. You're a Canadian. You're not even from America. But they have a white Canadian right next to him, like a Justin Bieber or some shit. And the dark-skinned fucking Bantu is not going to say a damn thing. He knows his place. They only pull that black shit on the biracial guy because nobody else gives a fuck. That holds no weight. Especially like the biracial baby mama, that holds weight with her because she's got black kids. So basically, she's going to fight for black rights more than her own damn self. She doesn't give it. And I get it. You're a biracial baby mama. Like, you got black kids. I get it. It's kind of pitiful. I see them trying to figure out, what are they going to do? Are they going to be in the mixed discussion? Might as well just go to do the black stuff, It's, because they try to kind of do both and wiggle in both, and it's just kind of okay. Because yeah, your kids are black. So basically, you're going to fight for black rights. You don't really give a shit about mixed rights. That's why whenever the conversation of mixed people comes up, you just want to pretend like, well, it's not about mixed identity. And that's, it shouldn't shouldn't be a main thing. I talk to these people and that's what it is. Like, they don't give a fuck about mixed people because they got kids by a black guy. Like, they're only going to fight for black rights at that point. So you're wasting your time, right? But they'll grift. They'll try to pretend they give a damn about mixed, the grift to kind of get the audience so they can sell their shitty products or books or whatever they want to sell. That's the grift. But, yeah, we just said right here, like with this Bantu, like, that's their white massa. Right? They're not going to talk about identity with their white massa. No, only the biracial man. Yeah. You're starting to notice. You're noticing. Interesting, right? A lot of women today go by trends. A lot of lighter skinned women are ashamed of liking lighter skinned men. Yeah, only the idiot women, I don't know, the women I see that are like following my networks, they might not post comments every day and this whatever, but I don't know. It's the idiots. If you want to be a baby mama, that's on you. Have fun. I just don't know why. Like after they become baby mamas, then they come to me and like, well, what the fuck? Like I don't know. Do you want me to clown you or something? Like I'm gonna saying your baby mama, your baby daddy's black, and you want to prove your blackness by being a baby mama, and you come over to me. It's like, what the hell do you want me to do? Laugh at you? I don't get it. They don't want to see a lot of mixed couples together, like Curry and his wife. The amazing exactly. They hate seeing biracial women and men. Yeah, and I'm gonna talk about that on a stream either tomorrow or the next day. I might take a break take a day off, but I might come back. I'm gonna come back, do another live stream, guys. Maybe not this late at night, but I'm gonna come back to a live stream, and that's the whole what you said right here, Joe. My whole live stream is gonna be based off that. They hate seeing biracial women and biracial men. It hurts their soul. Go check me out over on Twitter because I shared some stuff a few hours ago based off that. That's the kind of the prefaces of what I'm going to talk about pretty soon. They really, and these are guys who are black Bantus, dark skin, who have like biracial baby mamas, but they hate when they see a biracial female support a biracial man. They hate seeing it. Yeah, I'm going to talk about that in the next stream. It's over on X as well, so go follow me over on X. The community completely functions just like how bonobos have their little society set up in the wild. Interesting. The main reason why they don't want it is because it will show how distinct mulattoes are racially side by side with black couples. Yeah, you look at a black couple, you look at a mulatto couple, we're not the same race. We don't look the same as them. They want to lie to your ass when they see like Alicia Keys and Swiss Beats or Aisha Curry and Steph Curry. They want to lie. Steph Curry's got two mulatto parents. Aisha Curry, I think one of her parents is mulatto. One of her parents is like mixed Asian or something, or Blasian, something like that. Like, yeah, look at both of them both together. They don't look the same as like LeBron James and his wife. They're not the same. Like, but they're trying to lie to your ass to punk you, to have you as a subordinate in their group. It's pretty crazy that these type of man will give advance to people that make drastically more money than him, but somehow he knows more than them. Yeah, it's just Bantu cope. That's all it is, Bantu cope. I am African and Asian mixed from the Caribbean. I love your content. I relate to mulattoes a lot and agree with many of your talking points. Hey, shout out to you. I appreciate you being here. The same ones calling themselves the N-word and they condone it, even they don't use it. Yeah, crazy talk, huh? Crazy work. Yeah, the beat switch was good and the whole song. What did I miss? Yeah, shout out. I think I got through most of your guys' comments. Shout out to you guys. Have you seen how mad the Bantus got at Lotto? Hey, that's what I'm going to talk about, bro. You're stepping way ahead. Well, you follow me on Twitter, so you already know I shared some of this stuff, right? I'm going to talk about that in a couple days. Maybe tomorrow and then or whatever, several hours. My next stream, I'm going to talk about that. Big Lotto, mulatto woman, Miss Mulatto, showing love to Drake. And there's some Bantus upset by that. They're exposing their racism and their anti-biracial hate. I'm going to talk about that. So they hate the fact when they see mulatto women supporting mulatto men. They hate that. That's why they hated on the Curry couple for years. They always have something negative to say about Aisha Curry or Steph Curry and rumors of them and all this stuff. They hate to see that couple together. They hate to see when we support each other. I'm going to talk about that. That's my next stream. Yeah, the see dear father is just bullshit. The father only determines the gender, not the race. Yeah. Bantus were defending this Tupac clip by saying it was just code switching, which is something that all black peoples have to do according to them. They don't have this energy for Drake. Yeah, when Drake code switches, oh man, he's not authentic. He's a culture vulture. Yeah. But you see the special criteria that the Bantu has for the biracial man? Unrealistic expectations. But when they have another Bantu like Tupac Shakur, all of a sudden, oh, he's code switching. That's part, you see, that's how they operate. It's only special criteria. The problem with Drake is he's trying to be in the club with Bantus who are racist and hate him because he's biracial. That's his biggest problem. You see, the guy Kane Brown, he doesn't have that problem. The country music guy. He's not as big as Drake, granted, but he doesn't have that problem. He might have some other problems, racist whites or whatever, and that's even Drake dealt with that, racist whites in his own country in Canada. I heard a story they like try to deny him like a room at a hotel or something or something. Some discrimination thing happened with Drake, I think, over there in Canada. This was several years back. But yeah, like I'm saying is that with the problem with Drake is he's dealing with these Bantus, doesn't understand a lot of them, they're racist. They're anti-biracial men. And he's getting his wake-up call right now, the biggest imaginable, because he's the most successful. So the level of it is going to be gigantic. Yeah, but they make excuses for all the Bantus who are criminals and shit and drug dealers and thugs. They make all the excuses for all the scum of their community. As long as they're dark skinned, they're Bantu. But if you're a biracial man, oh, they're going to throw your ass under the bus. They're going to be like, I don't claim you. You mixed race. You not even black. But they'll claim all the mixed race like historians who are like trailblazers, right? They'll claim Thurgood Marshall. They'll claim Charles Drew. They'll claim Rosa Parks. They'll they'll claim Barack Obama. They'll claim all the mixed people who make their black ass look good. But if it's a mixed person who commits a crime, all of a sudden, well, that guy's not even black. He's mixed. That's the game they play. That's the Bantu projection. See, that's why they'll give Tupac Shakur a pass, but then when it comes to Drake, they're gonna throw him under the bus. That's Bantu projection, right? How did you piss off the women? I like your content. I'm a woman. Yeah, I don't know. You're probably late to the game. Don't know. I'm not attracted to Bantu men. I will only marry a non. Cool. Everyone has their preference. Shout out to you guys. Make sure you guys hit the like button. I appreciate that. Share the stream if you feel like someone will find some value with it. And yeah, I'll talk to you guys pretty soon. All right. Sayonara.